Good evening, folks, and welcome to tonight's coverage of the 2025 Summer Dragon Warrior Randomizer Tournament here on DW Randomizer. We've got some exciting matches tonight. We've got a pair of matches running the same seed tonight. On the top half, we've got jkoper, who is 3-1, taking on BobPineappleMD, who is 1-2. On the bottom half, we've got Vennicus, who is 2-3, and NESCardinality, who is 1-1. Hi everyone, I'm LOZ Cards Fan 23, and joining me on the commentary tonight, we've got Scarlet Shadow. Very important matches here between these four runners. On the top half, you've got jkoper, who is currently 3-1. A victory for jkoper will see him through into the bracket stages, and BobPineapple must win this one to keep his hopes alive. Meanwhile, on the bottom half, Vennicus must win this one to keep their hopes alive, and NESCardinality, of course, would really like to get to 2-1.
Yeah, LZ, we got very interesting scenarios, especially going on at the top half for our Poltergeist group. jkoper wins, and he's essentially in and waiting. BobPineapple wins and then beats Darthling, then he'll have a chance to get into a potential win scenario or tiebreak. And essentially nothing is decided in that group until everybody finishes playing.
Yeah, definitely not. A lot of these spots are still up for grabs here, but yes, in terms of this particular race here, on the top half, jkoper wins. They assure themselves a spot in the brackets, and everybody else, it's just wait and see at this point. But for Bob and Vennicus, for both of them, they're must-wins. It's not going to be easy against two runners like jkoper and NESCardinality, respectfully. I could talk. Respectively is the word I was thinking of, but here we go. We are underway, folks.
All right, let's see what we have. Looks like in the treasure we have a curse belt followed by a torch.
Well, nothing too significant. The curse belt does tell us that at least one of the three search tiles are in play, and we can sell it for 180 golds if we find the right shop. So no keys here at the start. They're going to have to find keys in order to gain access into Rimuldar, and no swampland. We've got a cave immediately due south, and it is Tablet Cave.
And we see diligently all three runners diving Tablet immediately, just like they should. And NESCard right after him.
Yeah, NESCardinality got stopped by a scorpion, so that slowed him down a little bit, but not going to be too far behind these runners here. Again, the runners on the top are against each other. The runners on the bottom are against each other, and we have gold behind that chest. So, you know, if we can find a town quick, we can maybe buy something here.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We didn't see an initial town on the first screen when we popped up, but also like we had an avenue south and an avenue northeast. So we'll have to see what happens when they pop out and start moving. Looks like jkoper is the first one out.
Now we look at the numbers. 32 HP is nice. 11 MP would be nice if we had any spells, but at strength at 6, not good.
Yeah, strength at 6 is a rough spot. There's not too many enemies you can kill. There's also some enemies who you're going to have a 1/3 chance to hit instead of a 1/2 chance to hit. Right now, we're essentially hunting slimes.
jkoper gets taken down by a blue dragon, and using the torch, BobPineapple does get the Drakey down. Drakey down for Vennicus as well. NESCardinality currently on 2 experience points, so he's got a couple of enemies down along the way. Well, that skeleton's going to back attack him, and does run away from that. Vennicus runs into a scorpion, is able to run away from that, and it looks like trying to find some enemies to grind on. Oh no, we've got a Wombo Combo Light on the Drakeys there, Scarlet.
That's going to be rough, especially since they're going to need that in the early levels. Looks like we have a quick reset from jkoper here. I think he might have saved his gold.
That very well might be indeed. You know, trying to find a town nearby, that of course is easier said than done. But I guess getting a nice walk here on the plains as NESCardinality is going to be sent back to start. Vennicus likewise, unfortunately, to this blue dragon. So far, exploration, trying to find weak enemies. It's been hard to come by, Scar. This could be a slog of a seed here.
Well, what the runners are going to have to do is they're going to have to hunt that red slime. It's in the zone pretty much to the northeast of Tanagel in the desert. It'll give them their access to level 2. Until then, we're going to have some struggles.
NESCardinality, the first to level 2, taking down the Drakey with the torch for 3 power, 2 agility, 2 HP, 2 MP, but still no spell. So got a little boost in attack power, but that's still not really good enough, Scarlet.
Yeah, maybe the ghost they can have a chance against. And they can chip it. Oh, nope, not those ghosts.
No. DL2 breath for the ghosts, and a very ominous start to this seed indeed. We could be here a while, folks. Grab your popcorn and drinks.
Interesting fight going on for jkoper. He's trying to chip down this magician. He threw his torch, dealt 7 damage to it, but he's only, I think at this point, maybe a 50-50 shot on every hit to actually connect.
Right, and they have anywhere between 9 and 12 HP. All right, that's 8 HP of damage now for jkoper. And Drakey's going to send Bob back. That's 9 HP of damage. That's not enough, so he needs to land at least one more. He does. That's 10. Still not enough, so it's either 11 or 12. That's 11. Oh, it rolled maximum.
Oh, no.
Perfect bid. Oh, the worst of both worlds, Scarlet.
Luckily for him, though, he did save after he got that tablet gold, and he still has his torch. So the save game is going to allow him to try things like that until he gets something to land.
And that's just a bummer there. 11 HP of damage, and it rolled the maximum 12 and got perfect bid to boot. So that's 500 golds for the magician right there. You might as well make it 1,000 because it had the maximum number of HP, but whatever. Now we're going to try to take down the scorpion. He gets 7 damage on the scorpion. Now they have between 10 and 13 HP and is worth a little bit more. 16 experience versus the 12.
Yeah, we're in a weird dichotomy point here where every enemy that he's facing right now is just a 50-50 shot. So if you get a good torch, you can take down almost any of those Zone 0 enemies if you have the patience. And they do have 32 HP, which does help.
Yes, it does. Now, Bob restarted to get the torch back, so really kind of a battle of attrition on the top here. The only one who's kind of really making any progress for any of these 4 runners appears to be NESCardinality, but of course, run blocked by a stone man. To be fair, we don't have that much agility right now, but still, nevertheless, it's a block of stone. Back to start he goes.
Yeah, we're going to see who has the patience to sit down here and kill slimes until they have 17 experience, because other than your initial torch, that's really all you can do, and it doesn't seem like there's a town anywhere nearby.
All right, NESCardinality with the Drakey. This would put him 1 away from the level if he is successful in the fight, which he is. Ooh, a crit there for Vennicus will take down the Drakey on his side. Scorpion not powerful enough to take this down, but this slime will give NESCardinality exactly what he needs for level 3. So let's find out what the digits are going to be here. 16 power, that's what we wanted to see. 3 agility, no HP, 12 MP, and sleep. Well, the sleep could come in handy.
Yeah, this is your breakout. This is your chance to kill pretty much anything up to a skeleton if you have the patience enough for it. And NESCard seems to be moving out, trying to find a zone to fight in. Looks like he's going to start with the droll, and I think he can get it.
I agree. Let the good times droll for NESCardinality. And of course, unless, of course, they've got to heal more. We're going to put it to sleep. Good idea there. You've got the sleep spell. You might as well use it and get the 20 HP worth of damage. There it is. That's 18 big points right there. And another level up for NESCardinality. So really off to the races here. 7 power, 1 agility, 2 HP, 7 MP, and Radiant. Well, Radiant's not going to help these runners all that much since we do have permanent torches on.
But it's still the best spell in the game.
Right. And Vennicus gets sent home by a DL2 breathing ghost. Slime is down for Bob, currently on 10 experience points and level 2. So he currently has the leg up on jkoper on the experience front, who's sitting on only 2 XP. So it's kind of been a rough start here for jkoper, especially. Vennicus also on level 2, needs 3 more points. So another Drakey would give him the level as well.
That was another mid-roll torch for jkoper. He's got about 8 or 9 damage on this magician. He really needs this one to go down.
Oh, I agree 100%. He needs to get back into this game. It would put him really close to Bob Pineapple. And does get the Magician down. He needed that one. And now there's a Magician on Bob's side. Going to try to win this damage race here. Yeah, he's hitting him for one. With skeleton opportunity here for NESCardinality, and you mentioned it earlier, Scarlett, that this is an enemy that could take down and does for 25 points, and that's another level up for NESCardinality, now on level 5, 4 power, 1 agility, 6 HP, 5 MP, and just a bit outside.
All right, we're starting to see the levels flow for NESCard here. That 16 strength breakout plus 7 at the next one gets him in a position to swing out a lot of different things.
Well, not these blue dragons.
Yeah, maybe not those.
No.
But I know Vennicus has also hit that same level, so we're going to have to see if they can find a good zone to get a couple of 20, 25 experienced enemies and try to get themselves to a real spell and a chance to move out.
Yeah, if you look at these numbers, Vennicus is in second place right now. The only problem is he's up against the runner who's in first place in NESCardinality as Bob Pineapple succumbs to a DL2 breathing ghost. Another back attack from a blue dragon is going to send jkoper home as well. So NESCardinality is still content taking down red slimes for the time being. Our next level is at 165 points.
Right now, we're still seeing a lot of runners stay close to home. I know, like, Bob tends to be a grinder, and Vennicus tends to be a grinder. NESCard and jkoper love to get out on the map. And you see Ness is pushing right now. I know this is hurting jkoper because he likes to get out and get moving.
Oh, certainly indeed. I mean, you know, at the very least, we got to find a town here, you know, maybe a cave. But unfortunately, we keep finding the deputies here. The blue dragon's going to send NESCardinality back to start. Vennicus taking on this magician here should be able to take it down for the 8 points and does so to get to 50. jkoper is going to try to explore a little bit here, but you know, we're now at the 10-minute mark, Scarlett. We still have not found any towns, and the only cave we found is the tablet cave up to this point. And, oh, there's a cave on jkoper's side. Oh, wait, that's start. Never mind.
That's still tablet.
Never mind. I hadn't seen that part of the map, so that kind of threw me off. Drakey's gonna back attack and use baby breath, so jkoper needs a good hit here. Well, didn't use the baby breath, but he needs to go down here, which it does. jkoper will pick up the points, and that's enough exactly to get to level 3 with Bob.
Bob almost got that skeleton, and that pretty much with that death, that puts jkoper and Bob pretty much in a near virtual tie. Yeah, they have their breakout. They have their breakout strength level, and they're ready to go. And down on the bottom side, we have Vennicus and NESCard still both grinding, going for that 165. Pretty close there as well. Oh, but we have a town on NESCard's side.
Can he get there? Okay, it's a scorpion that's like, nope, just go to this town. All right, and we've got, look at this, it's Keys. That's Rimmildar. What a find for NESCard.
The question is, how much money is he sitting on? It looks like he's got enough for one, for sure. I have to wait till he goes into the menu screen to see.
Absolutely. So right now, NESCardinality sitting pretty here and has 130 gold, so enough for 2 keys.
At this point, with 2 keys, I think you want to not spend them here. And even though the desire is to open that chest and check that off your list.
Oh, a swing and a miss on the sleep spell and a perfect bid. Give that Magic Wyvern 500 gold. Sends NESCard back to start. My goodness gracious.
Yeah, I don't think he's super upset about that because I think the next move for NESCard was to come down here and check the treasury anyway. It just got him there faster.
Yep, so, you know, kind of probably a good death in this case here for NESCard because, yeah, now is going to check the treasure here in Tantagel Castle. We got a gold grind available. We have a fighter's ring. That's an additional 2 attack power points as he puts it on right now. We also have a torch, and the last chest has the curse belt. So now we know at least 2 of the 3 search tiles are in play tonight, Scarlett.
That they are. Vennicus slowly grinding as NESCard goes to check the back. With the gold, he should be able to top out his keys. And in the top race, it looks like both our runners are eking their way towards level 5. They both settled down and started grinding.
Yep, and it's very close. Just a few experience points separating the two runners right now as Bob's going to try to take down this Druin, which would put him in the lead. But jkoper is going to put the Scorpion to sleep, and 14 points right there for Bob. Again, they need to get to 82 points. As we do have an old man in the basement, it's a freebie cave, and inside the chest is an herb.
All right, so far we've had 2 locations plus treasury, plus a town, and a whole lot of nothing. We have a fighter's ring to show for it, and a couple of curse belts.
Yeah, so nothing really much. We don't have any of the required items here, and it does look like that NESCardinality wanted to get a little bit more gold there. So I'm guessing what he's probably going to do is he's going to hightail it back to Rimmeldar and go shopping.
Yep, let's see how many gold chests he grabs here or what he's aiming for. My guess is he's going to get at least 1,500 to grab a broadsword if it's there. Although at this point, I'm hoping for a copper sword or a hand axe and then a shield if I can find it.
Yep, and looks like NESCard is done for now. So yeah, his goal is to get back to Rimmeldar with the money he's got and potentially buy a broadsword if there's one on offer.
All right, looks like Vennicus has hit level 6, which gives us the hurt spell.
And NESCardinality gets to level 6 as well. So yeah, you mentioned the hurt spell. NESCardinality is now going to have it as well.
At this point with our...
Go ahead.
Go ahead. All right, at this point with our strength, we're hitting for about the same as a hurt spell, unless we run into an enemy like that Wyvern that has a little bit of extra defense, and that'll help us out.
Speaking of Wyvern, NESCardinality has got to connect on that sleep spell and does, so that gold is still going to be intact. He's at 1493 right now and runs into another Wyvern. He's going to have to connect on the sleep spell again, which he does. Let me take a look here at these Wyverns here.
That's a 75% chance to land that sleep spell.
Yep, so he does land on it, thankfully, and will not lose the gold. He's going to check behind the chest with the 2 locked doors, and it's just a torch, so nothing doing here. Let's see if we do have a broadsword. Now, if there is a broadsword, he is 7 gold short, so let's take a look at what we have in the armory here. There is a copper sword, no broadsword, so we don't have to worry about that. And better yet, we got a large shield to go with it. You kind of alluded to it. You were hoping for the copper sword, large shield combination. We got exactly that in Rimmeldar, Scarlet.
We did, and something that we missed when we were chatting about NESCard, there's another town to the south. Vennicus saw it. It's just to the southwest of Rimmeldar. So we'll see if he starts heading back there. It looks like he's moving in another direction. But we'll see if NESCard can run into it as well.
NESCard's going to top off on keys once again as he's got 458 golds, plenty of money to make that happen. And yes, these runners on top are still doing the grind here. We've got simultaneous Druins. Let's see if Bob can finish off the fight. He does. jkoper puts the Druin to sleep on his side. One more attack should get the kill for him. He's got it, so that's another 14 points as they're on their way to level 6. There's that Magidrak Wyvern that sent NESCardinality home earlier. This time does connect on the sleep spell, so is going to try to win a damage race here. But unfortunately, it's a 1-turn sleep.
You have 2 tries. It gets to wake up once, you get to put it back to sleep. If it wakes up again, you're dead because they don't have any healing. And NESCard wisely backs out of it.
And that's just a dead end anyways, so I think we found the state of Maine here. Oh no, we find an accident here. I mean, this would be a great grind spot if we had, you know, hurt more, but unfortunately, no such luck, and NESCardinality will get sent back.
The town to the southwest of Rim is Hawksness. Vennicus peeked in, saw it, jumped right back out. We're not ready for that yet, I don't think.
Nope. Yeah, not even ready to see what's behind the tile for that matter, as we get run blocked by a stoneman, double run blocked by a stoneman. Oh my goodness gracious. I know our agility stinks, but still, it's a block of stone.
Gotta use sleep there. We have the sleep spell.
Yep.
7 out of 8 times that stone man will fall asleep for you. Gotta do it. All right.
I agree.
In our race on top, it seems like we have everybody up to level 6, and it seems like we're about ready to start pushing out and moving. We'll have to see if they can find these towns located to the south. I don't think anybody's ventured too far to the northeast either. So we'll see, other than NESCard moving up there and dying to blue dragons. So still a lot of map to see.
I definitely agree. I'd be curious who between jkoper and Bob is going to do exploration first, because they've resorted to grinding for 17 and a half minutes now. But NESCardinality, you know, he's got a lot of exploration done here. He just took down a wolf for 40 points, so he's trying to get to that next level. We need to get to 337, so he's exactly 100 points away from making that happen.
Seems like Vennicus is testing zones here, trying to find out where one zone ends and one zone begins. Sneaking around. NESCard seems to really like this wolf grind. And jkoper's found one as well.
Yep, got the 40 points right there. He's about 30-some points back, or 46 points now, I beg your pardon. Vennicus sees a skeleton, is able to put it to sleep. NESCardinality taking down the red slime. That puts him 40 away from level 7. Vennicus is 80 away from level 7, and this wolf would put him on 337 on the nose if he is successful. He's going to try to win the damage race, which he does, and there's level 7 now for NESCardinality. Here come the digits. It's 11 power, 6 HP, 8 MP, and stop spell.
All right, looks like Ness is going to push out as far as he can, which is about 10 steps north before the blue dragon sends him home. But he was down on health anyways. He pretty much used that entire grind just to get the XP.
Yep, so the Blue Dragons, I tell you what, they've definitely taken the role of the fun police tonight, because the fun is going to stop once you run into these deputies tonight. So we got to get some more... We've got to get some more numbers here. There's just not enough right now. You know, we found the only town we have found so far is Rumeldar. Obviously, we have found Hawksness. We haven't seen NESCardinality find it yet. And then the runners on top are still doing the grind here. So jkoper and Bob still resorting to the grind here until at least level 7 on their side.
I'm thinking they're looking for a little bit more HP or possibly a healing spell so that when they go out, they don't get instantly murdered and sent back home. We're starting to see... Oh, go ahead.
NESCardinality is going to murder this wolf. Another 40 points. Needs to get to 600 for that next level.
We're seeing the copper sword come into play here, as NESCard is slowly getting a little tiny bit ahead of Vennicus, getting through these fights one swing faster every single time, and starting to build up this lead.
Yeah, and that's what Vennicus is doing right now. It looks like he's going back to the grind here, but NESCardinality looks like doing the same thing, but just finding red slimes no longer appealing to him, as they're only worth 2 experience points. Bob gets a Drakey down. jkoper gets a Scorpion down. He's now up to 280 points, so he's 57 away from level 7. Bob right now at 330. This magician would do it for him, so he's got it down. He's got level 7.
Taking a look at stats too, LZ, is what we're seeing is 21 agility, which is not very much at all. It's very low defense, and it's very hard to run away from anything that's not a tier 1 or tier 2 enemy. So the grind is the right play at this point. You got to get something that lets you survive, because eventually you're going to run into something you can't run from, and we're not strong enough to kill it yet.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Giancarlo Stanton running out that double play ball against the Texas Rangers. If you've seen the video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'll just leave it there. There's another wolf down for jkoper, who's now 17 points away from level 7.
You see Bob moving out a little bit. I think we just saw jkoper in this same area. I think it's to the northwest of the castle a little bit. I'd be interested, as all these blue dragons are to the just north of the castle. I've got to figure they extend in the zone that comes from the coast.
Oh, Bob's swing and a miss on the sleep spell will be denied those 40 points. Back to start he goes.
Uh-oh. I got to figure those blue dragons extend in the zone that's going from the coast on the east side. So I think wherever NESCard's sitting, if he sneaks along the edge of the water here, he might be able to escape that zone and maybe skirt around the blue dragons here in a little bit. I imagine when he hits level 8, he might try.
Yeah, certainly indeed. You know, he's getting very close to that level 8. Right now, 53 points away is NESCardinality. Vennicus is still 214 points away, as jkoper just picked up level 7 with that Scorpion kill.
Bob gets one screen further and gets away from an Axe Knight on 21 agility. which is impressive.
Very impressive indeed. And we see
Won't happen very often.
Nope. No wonder why I let him go, because it was just a dead end. Of course.
He's like, you go ahead and tire yourself out. I'll just wait for you at the isthmus here.
Or no, my friend the Blue Dragon's going to wait for you at the isthmus here and send him back to start. Meanwhile, we got even worse news on jkoper's side. He's found the AK-47s, which send him back to start as well. And level 8 was almost 4 aces. We had 1 strength, 1 agility, 1 MP. My word, that was a bust if I've ever seen one. 975 is now what we need for level 9. I think NESCardinality is going to have to keep grinding.
Well, what that tells you is you have to keep grinding. I think Ness moved down here to maybe take an enemy or two, and he may go back to Ribbledar, maybe to stay at the inn and get resources. I don't know. Or he's just trying to go here where he can one-shot kill stuff and eke as much experience as he can.
Aaron to you too in chat says, anytime the game gives you a 101, every time I see it's going LOL lol at you. Yeah, lol contestants. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, that was a slap in the face. You're not wrong there, Aaron. Well, look at this. jkoper is going to find Ribbledar now.
This is pretty huge for this top race because their experience is almost virtually even, and their exploration is about the same. This will let jkoper get in, get the rough news that there's not much in the treasury, but getting those keys will give you access to gold, which gives you access to gear, which gives you access to the next better grind.
Bob couldn't take that wyvern down. That would have been a nice boost in his XP. It would have been worth 64 points, but not to be, sadly. But yeah, jkoper is going to check those 2 doors. Unfortunately, he's only going to find a torch.
Once they have knowledge of this town, I'd be interested to try to find that zone where the wyverns or Magiwyverns are.
Oh no! That was hilarious. I thought the Drakey was going to use the breath there and send NESCardinality back to start, but it was like a standoff there, back attack into a runaway. That doesn't happen very often, but it's hilarious when it does happen. NESCardinality does make it back to Ribbledar safely.
I'd be interested if they can find a wyvern or Magiwyvern zone close to the town here where they can safely recover. It looks like there was one just above Rim, because with Sleep and Hurt, you can take down some pretty powerful enemies. It's dangerous, but the reward is worth it. It's going to be twice as fast as what you can normally kill without the spells or at that HP level.
Well, speaking of dangerous, jkoper runs away from the Axe Knight, and NESCardinality just bought himself some half plate. And then NESCard gets back attacked by a stone man, as you do.
I think I might put him to sleep, run, turn right back around, go heal and Rim.
Well, he's trying, but he's got a wyvern to deal with. Going to try to put this to sleep, and is successful, but he's got a couple more steps. Oh, he's going to try for the kill. No.
Yeah, out of pure spite, I probably would have tried to kill it as well. But it doesn't lose that much. He just bought his armor. He doesn't need that gold at the moment. No. He'll get more in a minute.
No, there's nothing to buy that he could really use at the moment unless we find knowledge about a town that's got maybe a silver shield or a flame sword or magic armor. Yeah, gold's not really important at the moment for NESCard. He's got all that he could possibly buy with the money that, he had collected up to that point. So nothing ventured, nothing gained. Skeleton, nice crit there for Bob. Will take down the skeleton, get the 25 points on his way to 600.
Looks like jkoper grabbed gold out of tablet, cast outside after getting his key, and now we'll get more keys with it. Pretty good heads-up play, especially with it being right there next to start.
Yeah, very smart indeed. Yeah, has plenty of gold to buy. Another, I believe, 3 keys. Or I'm sorry, that's 819, not 319. Yeah, he can top off the max 6. There's another wolf down for NESCard. There's a wyvern chance for Vennicus. He's only got 19 HP. Gonna try to win this race here. So far, these runners have had no luck getting these wyverns down. We got a 24, and we've got a 32. Oh, it stayed sleeping, and that's a big kill right there for Vennicus. 64 big points, and that's gonna give him level 8.
And you see NESCard trying it as well. This is a really good zone. Right outside of Rim, you have wyverns and Magiwyverns. If you can get him to stay asleep, you're going to pick up a lot of experience fast, and especially if it's only 300 for the next level.
Yeah, very nice. And the copper sword to help him get the 2-shot on that wyvern there. So Scorpion, another 16 points. NESCardinality closing in on that 975 that he needs to get to level 9. Bob's got a wolf to deal with right now and is trying to finish the job to get the 40 points, but it wakes up and survives with 3 HP to spare and gets the kill. And yeah, NESCard's going to go ahead and do this grind here next to Rimuldar in hopes that he finds the wyverns here. Unfortunately, back attacked by his stonemen, and these stonemen have had their way. If only we had a certain Rye guy in the commentator's booth, I think we would be losing it here.
Quite true. Looks like jkoper is continuously going into Tantagel and picking up gold. Looks like he might be trying to get, I think the number would be enough to get the half plate, the large shield, and the copper sword all in one go.
Yep, Blue Dragon, Vennicus has 1 HP left, but can't run away from it, and he's sent back home again.
Schmeik in chat has identified that outside of Rimuldar to the south, where NESCard is the Wyvern Zone. The zone to the north of it has the Magic Wyverns, but it's also poisoned by Axe Knights and he says Star Wyverns as well. Well, you have the Stone Men poisoning the other zone. None of them are safe, but this one is probably safer.
Well, Red Dragons have hurt more. I did not see it on anybody's screen, but apparently we saw some Red Dragons. The Fun Police have hurt more, which once you have Verdrick's armor, does less damage than attacks. So we want to see if we can find that. And, you know, if they use it a lot and we can get that stop spell going, they potentially could be a grind if they're on a spike tile of some sort.
Or even if they're not on a spike tile. Catch one whenever you're strong enough to do so.
Yep.
We have jkoper saving with all of that gold, making his way down. It looks like we have Vennicus venturing out to areas unseen. We're still in a really, really rough agility spot. They're at level 8.
That is
They have 22 agility at this point.
That's one of the lowest agilities I've seen through level 8 in quite some time, Scarlet.
Well, when you have that low agility, you're not going to run from anything. So you find the thing that you can kill that's worth the most, and you just keep killing it because you're not going to be able to get out and do anything. You might as well get stronger or hit that level that gives you that agility boost and then get moving. And as we see that, jkoper makes it to Rimuldar, and he's going to get his gear. And he's going to... Bob has a big experience lead here, but I think you're going to see that gap close very quickly.
Well, he's trying to get his gear, but he's being NPC blocked. He's got 2,000 plus golds to spare, so he'll get the copper sword first. And he'll get the large shield, and he'll have just enough money to purchase the half plate, so he is exactly as equipped as NESCardinality is. Holy smokes, we just got level 9 on NESCardinality's side, and it's a big one. 16 power, 9 agility, 29 HP, and 10 MP. So that's pretty nice.
It's pretty nice, and sadly, the most important number on that one is probably the 10 agility, because it's going to give him a chance here to actually move out a little bit. I would still keep grinding, but I'm conservative, and that's what I do.
Yeah, we still have no healing spells. We don't have hurt more either. So yeah, we got to at least get to level 10. That's going to be at 1,500 experience points. We got a blue dragon, and yeah, NESCard, even with that 9 new agility, having problems running away, but does run away on the second attempt as he's now finding Hawksness and wants no part of it.
Yep, he mini panics upon seeing it and then immediately dips out. But we see it's a green dragon. We can kill this green dragon, guys.
Yes, because it does have baby breath. And, you know, we have enough attack power to maybe do something to it. We're going to use the hurt spell. Interesting. And that's a min roll, unfortunately. So green dragons have anywhere between 54 and 72 HP. We're at 21. Is getting some good luck here on the sleep spells thus far. That's 31. It wakes up. Baby breath, you would rather see that. We're at 31 on jkoper's side. Trying to take down this green dragon. Going for another hurt. Connects and is up to 43. It stays asleep for him. Perhaps this one will do it for jkoper. 57. Yes! jkoper gets the 135 points, gets to level 8. A good chance there is something behind the spike tile here. He sees the pathetic level 8 there and is nothing. So we now know that the other two search tiles are where they are. So Cole's going to have something, and we will have coordinates guaranteed.
Hold now. We have specters in this zone. I want to see him stay here and see what else is here. This might be a better place to grind.
Yes, we could have some nice finds here for grinding here in Hawksness potentially, because yeah, Spectre's worth 47 points, and I think he heard you there. Well, never mind.
Yeah, no,
we have AK-47s. That's less appealing there, the Scarlet.
All right, that tells me, yeah, let's go find someplace else.
It was a good thought, but he's like, oh, I'm not going to make it that easy. It's the AK-47s sending jkoper back. I mean, that's big-time knowledge. He now knows that the other two search tiles are in play tonight. So we got to find Cole, and we have got to find Cantlin.
Yeah, it kind of hurts that the spike tile that you worked really hard to kill in a place you shouldn't really be able to kill it had nothing, but also it's nice because we're 30 minutes in, and that was maybe 2 screens south. It could have been seen by your opponent a long time ago. Sure. And if that was the sword and they killed it 10 minutes ago, then you are scrambling. So at this point, it's a sigh of relief and maybe a little bit of anger, and then maybe a little bit of both. But that's the game that we play here, friends. This is DWR at its finest.
Meanwhile, NESCardinality ran into a green dragon. I don't know what cave this is at the moment, but there's nothing but green dragons here, and it's going to send him back to start. Mountain cave.
Yeah,
nothing
looks like
doing for NESCardinality. He is run out of town and sent back to the castle. Meanwhile, speaking of being run out of town, Vennicus gets dodged by a ghost and is going to get barbecued back to start.
All right, with Mountain Cave being accessible now and 30-some minutes in, I imagine you see NESCard immediately move back towards it. Bob gets sent home again. He's still on this wolf grind. He is still maintaining his experience lead over jkoper, but not by much.
No, not at all. So yeah, he's approaching level 9 here. Droll down is going to put NESCard 390 points away from level 10.
Well, still plugging away in the seat for all the runners. We're about 35 minutes in. We're all sitting at about 1,000 or less than 1,000 experience, so you know that you're not making a whole lot of progress. I think the lack of healing is the problem. We've seen 2 towns, but it's Remeldar and Hawksness, so you can't even buy herbs. The only herb you can get is, I believe, sitting in Stone's Cave, which is under the castle.
Yes, that's the only herb we can get. Oh, we have a town here on NESCard's side, but it's that dreaded stone man. Gonna put it to sleep. Does connect on the sleep spell and trying to get to the cave. What is it? We are back to Mountain Cave. NESCardinality gonna give it another shot. Well, scorpions are nice. I'll take that. So that's another 31 points.
Here's where you have to make a really good use of your sleep spell. At this point, it may be safer at 31 agility to try to put this green dragon to sleep, and that's exactly what NESCard is going to do. You're more than 50% to do it. They have 7 of 16 resistance.
Yep, so NESCard did connect on it, only to run into another green dragon. Yeah, it's just going to use sleep spell, and that time it's a cut and miss. Blue Dragon's going to send Vennicus home as the dragons, well, it's called Dragon Warrior for a reason, and 1 HP to spare as NESCardinality finally connects on the sleep spell, but is just left with 1 HP. It's a metal scorpion, does get the first strike. No, it's a green dragon. He's got a 50-50 chance. Does he get there? Of course, it's a cut and a miss and is sent back to start before opening the chest. My word. That is brutal, Scarlet.
Yeah, I'm surprised you ran on that metal scorpion. You got to put that metal scorpion to sleep, too. They have 0 resistance. You can't sleep on them. They will fall asleep. You will run. You will get away. But that's also 9 in 16 chance to put him to sleep, and he had 3 fails out of 4 tries. It's a bit of bad luck. I think if I'm NESCard, I do right what he's doing right now. Go kill a few wolves, get another level, get a little bit more agility, and try again.
Yep, so a lot of question marks here in the seed here. Yeah, we're now almost 37 minutes in, and we have found none of the components. We haven't even found the Jerk Cave. We haven't even found Sharlock. We haven't found any of the components, like I said. No Erdrick's Token, no Stones of Sunlight, no Silver Harp, no Trading Cave to get the Staff of Rain. We've just found a lot of dragons that have sent us home, Scarlet.
Yep, and a lot of pain. Looks like NESCard is not grinding. He is going right back to Mountain Cave. And I can't blame him that much.
Of course, he gets back attacked by a Demon Knight, which is very annoying as they are got a lot of agility and they're very dodgy if you try to attack it. I mean, it's just no fun here. Well, Droll is a more welcome side. NESCardinality will gladly take the 18 points from that. jkoper with a Scorpion down. That's going to give him level 9.
All right, NESCard back at it. Sleep spell 1 for 1 on this round.
Right, that's a respectable start. Does get to the chest this time, and it's just an herb, but hey, I mean, and it's going to be healing. That's
welcome. The herb might get him to the second floor.
Well, not if he continues to miss on these sleep spells here. So 1 for 2, 1 for 3, back to start he goes.
Now, this is hard. He should be able to make it through. He's getting some bad RNG luck, and this is a lot of time loss where he's going to the cave and dying and not getting a whole lot of experience on the way.
Yeah, it's enabling Vennicus to catch up because he's not been able to, because, you know, Vennicus gets to the mountain cave, and let's say he gets it all in one shot. That's a lot of time he can gain back on NESCard.
This is true. We have Bob finding Rimmildar as our last runner to reach our first town. He'll be sitting doing a lot of the things that jkoper was doing earlier, but he still has a little experience lead, about 40 points. We'll see what Jay does with this extra time as Bob tries to catch up. And NESCard is looking to head right back into Mountain once again.
Again, a reminder, we do have a Flame Sword in Rimmildar. You know, if these runners wanted to do a gold grind and then come back and get that Flame Sword in Rimmildar, it's not terribly hard to get to. But NESCardinality is persistent, and so are the Green Dragons as they back attack him. And let's see if he can get the sleep spell off. Another wave and a miss. That's 3 in a row for NESCardinality. Finally connects on that one, but he's left with just 25 HP now and going to use that herb. Yeah, they are 75% baby breath here. As NESCardinality trying to get the second chest, got there, finds a key, which would have been nice if we hadn't found Rimmildar already. Got to the next 2 chests. We've got Fairy Water, and we've got an herb. We've got 1 chest left, and he's going to use that herb to top himself off. And he's got 1 chest left. He's hoping he can get there, but it's a Magiwyvern, which...
This is fine. You put it to sleep and you run. He gets the 1 in 8 fail.
Of course
okay.
He does.
He's got more HP. Another 1 in 8 fail.
1 in 64. Do I hear 1 in 512?
Nah, this time it's going to sleep, but you run and you keep going.
Oh my goodness. This is absolutely ridiculous, the kind of luck NESCardinality is having on that sleep spell. Okay, it's just a Metal Scorpion.
He's
He'll
gonna
go ahead and
kill
attack it. Yeah, 1 shot to get the points. The final chest here in Mountain Cave, it's just gold. So Mountain Cave, unfortunately, a bust. Nothing here.
Well, he does have a potential gold grind set up now. We do have gold in the treasury, so if he wants to, he can go fight what he can here, namely the Magiwyvern, try to kill it, get some experience, and then go after that Flame Sword.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get this Magiwyvern down here. He's going to have to connect on this sleep spell again. He's had some problems connecting it, but doesn't have a problem this time. Magiwyvern 36 to 48 points. Gets the kill, a big 83 points right there for NESCard. 76 away from the level.
Right, checking on other runners, looks like Vennicus is still doing a serious grind, trying to find a solid zone, enemies that he likes, keeping up in experience just behind on a lot of things to NESCard. Bob is moving in, using his money, using his keys. And it looks like jkoper is venturing off towards the north, looking to see if he can find something.
That's funny. NESCardinality trying to do the death warp, and the Green Dragon decided to only bite him for 16 when he needed 17 HP. Go figure. They have just been uncooperative all night. Even when you want them to do what they're supposed to do, they don't do their job.
Right. Bob picks up his copper sword, a little bit short of money for armor. As NESCard starts gold grinding, I think he's going after that flame sword. I don't remember if there's anything else in that shop armor-wise that he could buy. I think it's just the flame sword at this point.
Yeah, we're looking to see how much he wants to gold grind up to. I mean, he may give himself a little bit of a buffer in case either he takes a death or if he miraculously finds another town that does have something that can give him an advantage.
Yep, chat's helping us out. There's full plate armor in there as well, so he'll definitely grab that.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well because, you know, you'll get 500 of those golds back, and that's a big boost in your defense as well. So, yep. And he's going to go ahead and save it, not take any chances. I like this play from NESCard.
Meanwhile, we have the Green Dragon Fest in Mountain Cave for jkoper. His first one goes to sleep. So he rounds the corner. There's Green Dragon number 2. That's 1 for 2. But he has a little bit more HP than NESCard did the first time he went in there. He's got a couple of fails he can get by. Plus, there's 2 herbs there for him to find.
That's correct.
2 out of 3 so far. More green dragons.
And ones that back attack him, so that's going to take him down to 19 HP. Sleep does connect. But unfortunately runs into another green dragon. Can he connect on another sleep? Yes. And this zone makes it safely. All these encounters, and he's back attacked by a wyvern, and he's only got 2 HP left. Needs to connect on the sleep, which he does. And NESCardinality's gonna get the flame sword, and he's gonna get the full plate. So he's sitting pretty here. Wyvern goes down, so jkoper went for the attack and does make it to the chest. He'll find that herb.
And immediately use it, and then beeline for the second floor, and hope he gets lucky. I feel like this zone has double green dragons. I don't think we can see this many without having at least 2 out of the 5 enemies be greens.
Yeah, no shot. I agree with you. Ooh, we hadn't seen these. We got knights down here. Gonna use the sleep spell. Does connect.
Yeah, at this point, you are 100% clear the cave, clear the cave, clear the cave. Kill the things if you can kill them in one shot, but otherwise clear the cave. I'd use that herb right away, too.
Oh, he is stop. Well, they have stop spell. That's just fine.
No, he's thinking. He's thinking. No, sleep. Clear the cave. Then go back and kill the knights.
I agree 100%.
There was debate going on for jkoper there. You could see it with the cursor pause. I love it.
So level 10 that NESCardinality just got was 3 power, 1 agility, 3 HP, 15 MP. So we're already at 90 MP through level 10, but not really many great spells to use the 90 MP on.
Not any of the heavy spells for sure. Sleep's a fantastic spell. Stop spell, it's amazing. But we still have 31 agility, so we still have to kill everything we see because we're not getting past it. Meanwhile, Bob tries the green dragon and Hawksness and is sent home.
Vennicus runs into a snowman. Oh, took a chance not using the sleep spell. He's found Mountain Cave now. Let's see how he fares. NESCardinality sees the fun police and the red dragons and is able to escape.
Vennicus makes it to his herb on his run through Mountain Cave, immediately uses it just like everybody else. Meanwhile, jkoper is gold grinding for that flame sword and full plate.
Definitely. So, you know, Vennicus, boy, he had quite the walk. I mean, I don't think he really ran into many problems here. He'll take this Drakey down. Why not?
Now, if Vennicus can gold grind here and catch up, look at all the time that NESCard spent diving that cave, and Vennicus is going to make it through maybe on his first try. This is how you catch up in a race.
Exactly. And, you know, he's not that far behind NESCardinality on the experience, only about 115 points back. NESCardinality trying to get this Demon Knight down. And there's the dodge, and there's the kill. Back to start he goes again. He is denied. Yeah, there's one major problem there, Scarlet. Vennicus at 46.5 minutes in still has not found Rimuldar. You know that?
Oh, no. Well, then he's probably not going to blind gold grind then. Not in this seed.
No shot. I mean, he does full clear it on the first try, which again, that's a big time saver if you look at it from that point.
All right, level 10 for Vennicus.
And jkoper did the gold grind. Now, unlike NESCard, he's not saving it, so he's taking a big risk here, Scarlet.
Yeah,
it's grinding.
He's found enemies. He's like, he hasn't run into the Armored Knight yet. Once he runs into the Armored Knight, it might change his mind, but until then, this is a really good zone.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you might as well keep going until you see that bad news of the AK-47. NESCardinality once again.
New town for Vennicus. He ventured northwest of mountain and finds Breckenary.
Well, it could have something he needs in here. You know, you see he's got absolutely nothing in his inventory right now. You know, he might find a large shield. He might find a copper sword. Who knows? He might get lucky here. We're about to find out what's on offer here in the town of Breckenary. As NESCardinality falls to an AK-47, we got a hand axe. Hey, hand axe is nice.
Hand axe is good.
But no armor and no shield.
Ooh, looks like Vennicus has hit the top of the map here as well.
Yeah, definitely indeed. He's at the top of this map here tonight. So, and Bob is still doing the grind here. And, you know, again, he's been lucky. He's been lucky that he hasn't run into the AK-47s yet. You know, it's kept him afloat here against jkoper. I mean, we got a close race here. Another wolf here for Bob. So, you know, he's looking pretty good here. I know he's only got 21 HP left. He'll two-shot this wolf and get some more points. So, he's closing in. Our next level's at 2175. Another AK-47, and that's going to wipe out NESCard. Star Wyvern, the first time I've seen that. This is on Vennicus' side.
Vennicus is in an interesting situation here. He has a key from Mountain, but he only has one. He ran into Garenham right outside of Sharlock, couldn't use it because it was his only one. He'd have to go back into Mountain to get it. I think he's going to go home, hopefully open up the treasury, get some money, and then probably head back up there. But there's two different things to find at the top of the world.
Yeah, that looked like an intentional death because there was no way he was going to win that damage race against the Star Wyvern. 56 to 74 HP. He needed a good 4 shots, I would have said, at that current state. But that's going to be level 10 now for jkoper. He's going to see the 3-1, 3-15 there that we had seen NESCardinality get.
With diligent fighting, Bob Pineapple currently has the Forerunner experience leader. He did until that last wolf.
Uh-oh, we've got more fun police here. Now, there is a little bit of a wrinkle here that we've added, and that is that you can only run fail 3 times in a row. You are guaranteed to run away safely on the 4th attempt, but when we don't have the magic armor or the or Erdrick's armor, we're still going to get popped hard on those hurt more. So NESCardinality is sent home again. And the deaths have really been piling up. As you can see, already 81 deaths combined between these 4 runners, Scarlet.
That's a lot. Oh man, poor Vennicus got blocked by the NPC and has to go back in to go get his keys.
Oh, that is just disgusting.
All right, looks like NESCard is venturing out west past Mountain Cave. If this dead ends here, it will slowly lead him up to Breckenary and then to Garenham and Swamp, which is the exploration lead that Vennicus has right now versus, NESCard being able to find Rim.
So apparently we saw Garenham. I assume it was on Vennicus' side and couldn't buy anything because didn't have enough keys. Or couldn't look at the Garenham treasury because not enough keys.
Yes, that is correct. As soon as he reloads some keys, I imagine he'll head right back there. You still have Grave outstanding with a lot of checks. You have 3 checks in Garenham itself. You have Swamp Cave that could lead into the back end of Garenham.
NESCard has just found the location of the Jerk Cave. It's next to a couple of bridges here, a lot of bridges here, and that's not a Sparko tile, but that's a Sparko Island, or Sparko Beach. 6 sand tiles guarded by a bunch of mountains. Having said that, I want the coordinates there, but it's not going to be the case. As NESCardinality, as the Stonemen's have done all night, it's a back attack, and it's another kill for the Stonemen, sending him back to the castle. Meanwhile, we got a Rogue Scorpion on Bob's side. Has only 5 HP left, and it's a dodge. Back to start he goes. Tough break. That would have been a nice 70 points there, but not to be for Bob. Currently leads by 237 points on jkoper.
Those Rogue Scorpions have hurt more as well. I saw it earlier in a fight I believe NESCard was in.
Ah, man, this has been a brutal scene, you know. Everything's got to be in Charlock the way this has been going. Of course, we still haven't found the grave, and you know, that could have some things. You know, we still got our coordinates. We still got coal. Haven't found that yet. Vennicus somehow ran away from that blue dragon. NESCardinality having also running away from the blue dragon.
By my count, I think we have something like 10 checks left.
Yeah, quite a few checks left. Oh,
but 10 checks in the overworld, of which 3 have to be harp, stones, and token. So that doesn't leave a lot left for anything else.
Yeah, I think there's a high probability the pyramid game's in play, but who knows? Maybe it won't be. Oh, Vennicus gets the Rogue Scorpion to sleep. Oh, gonna run away with it. I thought he was gonna maybe go for the kill there, but no, he wants to explore some more. And now NESCardinality has found Breckenary. And the deputy has their way again with Vennicus, sending him back home. Now jkoper runs into a Demon Knight. Bob taking on this skeleton should have no problem. Yep, gets the kill right there. As he finds now the grave. He's the first to find the grave.
And Bob has keys, so we can dive it if he wants to.
There's the stones. The dragon scale, we hadn't seen those. That's 2 bonus defensive points right there, putting it on. And there's the armor.
Well, now Bob has a huge advantage on the other runners. I did not get a chance to see where he found this and what it's located by.
It's like a big desert. It's like a big desert area, but I don't know exactly how to get there. Because getting there is half the fun. Speaking of half the fun, Magidrak Wyvern's going to back attack him. Now, he does have Verdrick's armor. You know, the good news is that you're going to recover 1 HP every step you take. You are completely resistant to stop spell. You won't take damage on swamp tiles or those barrier tiles that do 15 HP worth of damage. And you have reduced damage on those hurt and hurt more spells and reduced damage to dragon breath by 1/3 each. Speaking of dragons, we got red dragons. You're going to see the difference that only doing 22 instead of that 45 that you were stealing earlier there, Scarlet.
Very true. And Bob gets away on 1 try at 32 agility to continue this dive. Chat also says that grave is to the northwest of start.
Ah, you know, we've been blocked a lot by these blue dragons. There's a poltergeist for 15.
NESCard in Garenham. We have the token. We have an empty, which means probably herbs. And then I believe that was gold for the last check.
Yep. So, you know, we're still short on a lot of things here. I mean, the sword could very well be this. So we have double old men basements here. We've got the trading cave in Garenham. So the old men were relegated to towns tonight. And NESCardinality, this is Swamp North. So now we're starting to see some things come together, Scarlet.
This is true. We're running out of checks. We have 2 key items so far that we've just located in the last, like, I don't know, 45 seconds, and Bob gets denied in his dive of grave.
Oh, that's brutal. Very brutal right there.
I did not see what was in grave 4. Did you, LZ?
I didn't either.
I'm sure our amazing trackers, Schmike and RG365, will be able to let us know. Schmike says wings in grave 4. Okay, so that's going to leave us with our coal search, which we haven't found. It's going to leave with the overworld search, which we haven't found. We know they're both evident because we have 2 belts. And then grave 5. And those are the 3 things that we do not know yet.
Yep, and grade 5 could be very important. I mean, there's a high probability it's going to have something of importance in there, just based on what we still haven't found yet. You know, we still haven't found the staff, no death necklace, no Erdrick sword, no fairy flute. I think there's a high probability one of those is in there. Now, whether it's something we absolutely need, who knows, but that could be a problem. But the big question is, if you're Bob, do you take that risk against someone like jkoper?
I think Bob has a lot of other things to do. And if he's over in that area and he gets there, he may want to dive again, but I don't think he just jams his way in there. Right now, there's other things with the armor that you're going to be able to accomplish. You keep it in the back of your mind, you write it down so you don't forget it, but it's not what you do immediately.
Oh yeah, definitely indeed. Warlocks, they have stop spell. By the way, NESCardinality just got to level 11. That had no power, 7 agility, 8 HP, 2 MP, and we still are 5 spells out. I'm telling you, heal and hurt more, both level 16. I'm calling the shot right now, Scarlet.
If that's the case, then you're going to see Bob pull ahead because he's the only one that has passive healing at the moment. And herbs are not easy to come by. It's a walk to even get to Breckenary. And that's
Agreed.
the first town where you can actually buy them.
Oh, Wyvern's going to send Vennicus home.
Vennicus is having some struggles right now without gear. He really needs some armor so some of these other fights don't chip him down as much.
Yeah, NESCard's
without
starting to
healing,
pull away.
especially.
And NESCard's starting to pull away on the experience as well. He's got 600 points clear on him at the moment.
We've seen jkoper stay in this particular location for a little while now. Looks like he's trying to get himself up to level 11. I think he's just praying for a healing spell at this point before he gets out on the map. I can't blame him at 22 deaths. So much action going on in different parts with all 4 runners at the moment. It's really hard to keep track.
Yeah, that's just been the problem for Vennicus, is that, you know, he has been very close to where he needs to be to get to Rimuldar and has just not found it. And because he's been stepped short, or he just doesn't use the sleep spell on Stonemen.
All right. We have NESCard venturing west of the drop cave, which I believe is unknown territory at this point. We have jkoper also venturing west. And then Bob maneuvering through a swamp. Still have very key. Oh, we see a town on NESCard side. Remember, we're still missing Cole. We're still missing
but he won't
Cantlin.
get there. He won't get there. Red Dragon's going to say no. The Fun Police does its job. He's under arrest and goes back to start yet again.
Well, you're going to see NESCard go right back there because we are now approaching the 1 hour mark of the seed. 1 hour. Nobody has hit 3,000 experience. 1 hour. No healing spells. 1 hour. Only one piece of Erdrick's gear obtained.
1 hour. No Sharlock, no Cole, no sight of Sharlock either. We haven't seen that yet. That is absolutely crazy. Now NESCardinality is going to go to Hawksness.
We have seen Sharlock. Sharlock is hiding at the top of the map. It is sitting right in front of Garenham and to the northeast of Breckenary.
That's crazy, but yeah, 1 hour in. I mean, yeah, this is exactly the opposite kind of a seed that I was doing commentary for last night. Last night was a jet seed. Everything was handed to the runners on a silver platter. That is totally not the case tonight.
We have a chance for Vennicus here. He is maneuvering towards Rimuldar, and he's going to feel really bad about it when he sees it.
Yep.
There it is. Good. It's on his map.
Yep, he finds the town. He gets stopped by a scorpion. Of course, he gets back attacked just to add more insult to injury. Does get the Kaishinoa Jigeki, you know, to just to really rub it in on that scorpion. And he's going to see, and he's probably realizing right now, I'm probably trailing.
Keys were this easily available, and he's getting to him. I mean, he had keys from Mountain, but
Right.
keys were easy to find. This is rough. believe NESCard tried the Green Dragon at Hawksness, and I don't think he made it. He might be going right back.
No, I mean, you know, we saw jkoper or Vennicus get lucky and ended up being a nothing burger. I mean, just rough, but we'll see how this goes.
I saw a town on Bob's screen that I don't think we've seen before. I think that's one of our two last unknown towns.
Yeah, it's either going to be Cole or Cantlin, and we know it's going to be something of importance, but he gets back attacked by a Star Wyvern. And man, I can't wait to see these stats here. They're going to be ugly, as NESCardinality will be going back home.
Schmike says that town is Hawksness and Bob is on the south part of the map. Thank you, Schmike. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're getting map bleed all of a sudden. We think it's new parts of the map. It ain't.
It's just because we're just getting really excited that we're seeing new stuff, because it's been a whole lot of grinding and death to this point.
Yeah, we're at the 1 hour and 2 minute mark. We have over 100 deaths between these forerunners, 102 to be exact. Make that 103 as the Blue Dragon gets another score.
All right, NESCard going in for another try at this Green Dragon. Apparently the last time he was just checking to see what it was. This time I think he'll be able to get through it pretty easily, especially with the baby breath, and find out the whole big whopping nothing that's hiding underneath it, but then give him new direction for where to go next.
Exactly. All right, you should win on this hit, and that will do it. So Green Dragon down for 135 points for NESCard, and yep, he's going to see nada, a big nothing burger here in Hawksness. And another kill for an Axe Knight as Vennicus can't escape. And now we've got Rogue Scorpion going to send Bob home, and we have jkoper getting succumbed to a Demon Knight. Man, everybody getting killed at the same time here. Everyone.
What's your top tier, LZ, for deaths in the seed? Who gets the most, and how many do they get?
I have no idea who's going to get the most. It depends if all four of these runners want to finish or not. As I wouldn't be the least bit shocked is if we're not in a close race on any front, that the person who has been defeated just waves the white flag. Now, having said that, the way this is shaping up to be, I think Vennicus is going to have the most deaths. The way that's been, the way this is trending up to this point. But really, it's anybody's game.
I think you're right. Probably for the pure fact that he's just still has not been able to obtain himself some armor.
No,
but I'm gonna go with 38 deaths is the top.
38. I agree. For some reason, it's not going to be 40. We're not going to hit the 40s yet. 38's a good guess. I'd go with 38. I'll go 39. 39.
It really will depend on when we get our healing spell. If we get our healing spell at like 13, then yeah, it'll be in the low 30s. And if we get it at 16, it could be like 55. You never know.
Oh, this is an absolute joke. Level 12 was 3 attack, 3 agility, 1 HP, 3 MP, and we got a new spell. And guess what it is? Of course, the one that kind of won't help us that much. It's Return. We still have no healing spells. We still don't have Hurt More. We still don't have Repel. I'm telling you, 16. 16 for the double more. 16.
That's the dream. That's
yep,
the dream for sure.
You bet. All right, we'll see if that comes to fruition. So next one is at 4,125 points. And the AK-47 doesn't care about Bob's Erdrick's armor. It's going to send him back home.
All right, we see NESCard pushing in that direction of the town that he saw beforehand. Hopefully he'll be able to get through it. At this point, the problem he's running into is you get so many encounters on the way, and there's this large swamp to walk through, and he still doesn't have any passive healing.
And there's also no repel. That's another thing that's really slowed all of our runners down. You know, we're at level 12, both on Bob and NESCard's side, and we still have nothing to repel it with. I mean, yeah, you could buy Fairy Waters, but Fairy Waters have been hard to come by unless you found Brecconary.
Yeah, you could buy Fairy Waters at Brecconary if you could make it there. That's the problem.
That's the key. Exactly there, Scarlet. Oh, here's the Axe Knight that's again going to give Vennicus the business here, and that's now 110 deaths between these four runners at the 106 mark.
All right, NESCard on the bare minimum of resources. Star Wyvern put him down to 22, but he makes it to the town, and it's Cantlin. Now we can buy herbs.
Huge find there for NESCardinality, not just for the herbs, not just to heal up, but he's going to get some coordinates here. And again, we are guaranteed coordinates because we have already found 2 cursed belts, and that Hawksness did not have anything there. So we know for a fact we've got coordinates. And let's see what he's going to do. Yep, as you figured, because we still don't have any healing spells, Scarlet is going to top out on herbs, and then we're going to find out what those coordinates are.
Well, part of the problem he's coming to top out on herbs is he's got to make it to get coordinates, and he can't get there without the herbs.
That's true, because he does not have Verdrick's armor, and he's going to lose 15 HP every barrier tile he steps on. So he has to be cognizant of what his current HP is up to that point, because you see right there, he's at 14. If you would have taken one more step without using that herb, that would have sent him home. And let's see what the coordinates are tonight. It is 34 south, 71 west. Ugh. Ugly coordinates here. I know if it was me, I'd be rescuing Gwaelin, but knowing NESCardinality, he definitely is capable of counting that.
That to me seems like it's honestly probably north of Cantlin where he is right now. I honestly think it's probably north of where he's at by about 15 tiles. Look at that, 1 HP left.
Yep, and I would imagine he's going to top off on herbs yet again before moving on.
I certainly would.
Yep, and that makes complete sense here. He's got plenty of gold, nothing really to spend it on anyway, so yeah, might as well spend it on herbs.
Right. Right now we have Bob has made it to Mountain Cave. He will get the extra key. He will clear everything out, get sad, but possibly have the opportunity for a gold grind here if he wants to take it to get himself a better weapon. Meanwhile, jkoper is still lagging behind, not having, with Bob being our only runner that has found grave, but still keeping up in experience.
Yep, absolutely here, as now Vennicus has found the grave.
All right, this is a turning point here. If Vennicus can, well, I mean, Vennicus has no armor.
Well,
he's got to get there.
Never mind. Rogue Scorpion immediately ends his turn, sends him home.
Yeah, you got to go back though. You got to go back immediately if you're Vennicus.
Oh, certainly indeed, but it is just an absolutely brutal for Vennicus. Just nothing has fallen his way tonight. Well, there comes that blue dragon doing what these blue dragons have done best. Back attack these runners, because at level 12, we are on only 42 agility. That is just disgusting. Wow, and NESCardinality gets grilled for 66 HP of damage to DL2 Breath, a ghost. Ugh. Man, brutal. Speaking of brutal, Red Dragon sends Bob home. So that's where Garenham was, right there. Okay.
But we've also found Cole. It's right below where NESCard's at right now, hiding by the swamp. Look at that. Nifty little spot.
Yeah, his exploration has been pretty good as NESCardinality. So he's going to get something guaranteed behind this tile. What's it going to be? It is Erdrick's Sword. You can cancel the Pyramid game tonight, folks. We're not playing it.
All right, that makes it very likely our coordinates item is the Silver Harp, with the only other option being Grave 5.
Correct. Yeah. If Silver Harp is indeed the coordinates item, then yes, Deep Grave is going to be nothing of importance. So we'll see what happens on Bob's side. Because remember, he died in Grave, not able to get that 5th chest. So if he's able to find everything else before making his way back to Grave, he's going to be in great shape.
We're going to have a couple of key points where things come together here. Vennicus knows where the grave is. NESCard knows where everything else is, but the grave has the armor, and we have no healing, so it's the most important item. Bob has the grave.
Armor and stones.
Yes, but at this point, the armor is the key. The armor lets you explore the map. The armor lets you survive.
Speaking of keys, Vennicus is now in the back of Garenham.
I really want to see Vennicus get some armor here. But out he walks. I don't know if there was nothing available for him.
I didn't see the shop. That's like the one shop I continue to not see here on anybody's side in Garenham. And in NESCardinality, I think, is counting coordinates here.
That's what it looks like.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me. He's one of the best in business when it comes to coordinates. I mean, it's very seldom he'll rescue Gwaelin. It has to be one of those like split continent situations for him to do it. I mean, he's just one of the best in the business.
Yeah, this is one where you got to be careful though, and you got to set some landmarks because we have herbs, but he still has no other way to heal. So even while counting coordinates,
Star Wyverns
yeah, they do.
That is gross. And
he's going to be able to outswing this. Maybe he can outswing the heal on this one, but if you take too many of these fights, you might end up getting 3/4 of the way through your coordinates and then get sent home. And NESCard immediately either landmarks or stops, abandons, and goes to heal.
Yep, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, he's landmarking where Cole is, or sorry, where Rim is, so he can start from there now.
Yep, definitely. And Vennicus gets back attacked by the fun police, and Vennicus's fun just came to an end. Meanwhile, jkoper has found Sharlock, and he'll be finding Garenham shortly too. Yeah, very convenient that Garenham is right next to Sharlock, so we can top off all of our resources at that point.
It will be nice when we get there, for sure.
And jkoper has found that the trading cave is here in Garenham.
Yep, our top race coming together pretty simply. We have jkoper maybe a minute behind Bob in the exploration, but still that grave is looming ever large.
I mean, evidently the grave is looming large at this point. I mean, we got to find the grave to get the stones and the armor here. Deep grave, likely not going to be required. That doesn't mean it's, because if it's not the silver harp, if it's not the silver harp as the coordinates, we know by process of elimination it's in the grave. So if the harp is there, then the grave is useless as far as I'm concerned.
Well, let's actually think about that for a second. It's probably the harp because the math does work out that way, where there's a slightly better chance that our search locations have those key items. But there's also the flute outstanding and the death necklace outstanding. So for those key items, we have 1 in 3 chance that it's the harp. The harp has to be there or grave, so it's probably the harp. But if it isn't, then we're hunting. Plus, you never know, the death necklace might come to play this seed.
Well, guaranteed at least one of those two, you know, between the flute and the death necklace, at least one of those two is in fact in Sharlock, and maybe both.
And it looks like grave is on the pathway to the coordinates. NESCard finds it. He's about to get his armor.
Well,
and then he's going to be off to the races.
Speaking of armor, it's an armor knight on the spike tile of Swamp.
All right, so that gives us Green Dragon and Hawksnest easily accessible from Tanagal, and Arbor Knight hiding in Swamp right next to Sharlock. The Green Dragon seems like the better grind, but nobody's grinding until they get a healing spell.
Yeah, no shot. jkoper taking another death here as the deaths continue to climb for both of these runners. We are approaching 120 now for all 4 of these runners. That's 29 deaths now for jkoper, Bob on 30, NESCard with the fewest at 27, and Vennicus at 34. Vennicus at 34, I beg your pardon. Yeah, that is now 120 on the dot. 120 on the dot.
We are finally getting a look at the other side of Swamp, and it's a big swamp.
That's one heck of a swamp, all right. I got some swampland to sell you folks. Oh my goodness gracious indeed. As the run continues, we're at the 75+ minute mark here, and Vennicus does get away from that AK-47. Meanwhile, NESCardinality is continuing to do his count.
Yep, he's landmarked the grave, so he knows where it's at. He's continuing the count from there in case he dies and gets lost. Meanwhile, Bob is exploring that second continent and finding a whole lot of nothing. Because we pretty much found everything at this point.
Speaking of a whole lot of nothing, look at NESCardinality getting 180 on that blue dragon. Nice kill there. But speaking of nothing, level 13, 246. We got denied the 2468. It was 2461. And guess what? Still no spells, still no heal more, still no hurt more, still no repel, still no heal. No way to heal ourselves. It's all coming on level 16, folks.
I think NESCard tried to count and ran into a dead end.
Ooh.
I think he's going to have to circle around or go get the princess.
Yep, and we know what's guarding it, and without any healing spells, I don't know if it's doable. I don't think it is.
The Armored Knight with no healing? I think NESCard can kill it if he starts at full HP.
But, you know, you could get dodged on. There's a lot of things that can go wrong on this. But yeah, with Erdrick's sword, I mean, yeah, I see where you're getting at, Scarlet. You know, if he has full resources, you know, he's on 120 attack power, which is actually not too bad at his current juncture. Still, boy, you gotta swing well.
It's sketchy for sure. I go in with full herbs because you're going to have nothing left when you kill it. You do have outside, you do have return, so all he's got to do is kill it and then herb up. But yeah, I'd fight it. I might die, but I'd fight it.
Now, interesting, NESCardinality is going into the grave. It looks like he's making a dive attempt.
Maybe banking on the fact that he has Flute, Death Necklace on coordinates, and now he's water blocked and can't get to it. If he dives grave and takes grave 4 and grave 5 and finds what he needs, he doesn't have to search the coordinates.
I mean, that would be huge for him if Silverharp is on 5th chest, provided, of course, he gets there.
Yeah, I mean, he's here at the moment. If he's going to have to do something else like go to Swamp to get the princess, you might as well do it while you're here.
Yep, certainly.
Who knows? Maybe grave 4 will have an herb for him in his mind.
Bob finding Caitlin, so now he's going to find out about these coordinates, and now that he's got the armor, he won't have to worry about using healing spells or herbs on these barrier tiles.
And NESCard gets denied a grave before he can get down to make a check.
Yep, definitely. And NESCardinality was unsuccessful in his grave dive, so he's sent back to start.
Oh my gosh, is he counting the coordinates the other way around? I believe that
he can do this. He can do this.
I know he can do it. This is going to be a great count if it ends up finishing, though. I'll be very impressed. The Red Dragon doesn't like the fact that he's trying to count the other way, though. He says, no, that's not very nice.
Nah, he's not amused. Ooh, does get a connection on the stop spell, and you know, if they have like 75% hurt more, this could be, he's gonna go for it. I like this move. 350 points. Yeah, this is good.
Safer to kill it than try and run from it.
Yep. Yeah, and they seem to love it. And Kaishino Chigeki, down goes the Red Dragon. A big 350 points for NESCard. And once again, not amused, and is just gonna go for the back attack yet again. Can he connect on the stop spell? Yes, he does. So, of course, this time it decides to attack. Go figure.
Another crit. Oh my gosh.
It's a low roll of 62. And oh, they have both more. Oh, they have both more, do they? Interesting.
I might abandon my count and try to grind the Red Dragons here for a minute.
Well, I mean, he could if he wanted to, but I think it's more important at this point that he gets his homework done and then start getting the grind done at this point.
In my mind, it's more important that I get a healing spell.
Which, again, they're coming in level 16. Just, you heard it.
Yeah,
first,
I know. They're coming at 16. Silly to worry about it now.
Exactly. If they come earlier, I mean, yes, that's good news for the runners, but I know all these runners, they like to see the runners squirm, have to earn their wins here. Can't have everything handed to them on a silver platter. They got to play it out. They got to play the game. So now we got a Rogue Scorpion, and NESCard does connect on the Rogue Scorpion, who are another enemy that's been hurt more happy. Oh, and they have both more too. Wow. Another enemy with both more. And down goes the Rogue Scorpion, 70 points more for NESCard. Another Blue Dragon death for Vennicus is going to send him home yet again. We are closing in on 130 deaths now at the 121 mark.
I know we've been focusing on NESCard a lot because he's been finding the things first, but Bob is making some headway here.
Oh,
He made his way to
absolutely, Bob.
Cantlin.
Yeah, Bob's trying to pull away here from jkoper. Again, this is a must-win for Bob, who's currently sitting on 1 and 2. He loses this tonight, he will be eliminated from bracket contention here. jkoper, a win guarantees him a spot. A loss, it's going to be wait and see for jkoper. You know, we still have RG in the running here, who's trying to win their respective bracket. A win would put him at 4 and 1, puts him through into the brackets, and then we'll see what happens with jkoper at that point, but a play-in race could be in his future as NESCardinality finds the jerk. We're still short of Harp, though. Oh, my goodness gracious. So level 14 has been picked up. Well, the good news is it comes with 6 attack power, 11 agility, and 26 HP. The bad news is it comes with 1 MP, still no spells. It's a 50-50 chance. Is it possible we could have a quad spell level 16, folks?
I mean, the chance is out there. Looks like Bob is getting the news that his coordinates are also water blocked. Let's see if he tries to get around a different way than NESCard.
Hey, look at the amount of MP here. That's 12 heal more. So, you know, if we just get, yeah, the agility is the problem here, as Red Dragon Vennicus cannot escape from that. That's another death to his total here, as he's getting very close to 40. So you had predicted 38. It might be closer to 58 at this point, the way this overworld has treated Vennicus tonight. As jkoper gets a rogue scorpion down, he's only 48 points away from level 13.
This winding path that NESCard is on right now is crazy. He's got to be getting close. I think he's approaching the spot where he was water blocked before.
Well, he's going to go for this kill here, and he connects again on the Red Dragon. He's had more success connecting these spells on Red Dragons than he did on those Green Dragons earlier.
Well, I imagine the Red Dragon probably has.
Oh no, it's an attack, and he's sent home! Oh no!
That hurts so much.
Oh, the Red Dragon, who has been so spell happy, is like, you know what? Let's throw a wrench into this plan. Let's make this a 215 seed. Let's make this a 215 seed. What do you say, folks?
Well, here's where you're going to see experience come into play. As you see NESCard beelining his way there, I guarantee you when he went into the drop, he marked that location at what number west and what number south it was. So he'll be able to restart his count from there, but that's still a long walk to get back to that spot.
Oh, it absolutely is. And yeah, there's some people debating on whether or not these runners should be rescuing Princess Gwalen. Well, I told you, if I was playing this seed, I would be rescuing Princess Gwalen, but I'm not running this seed. Yeah, look at that. 75% heal more, 50% hurt more, and it just goes bite, 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 bite on NESCard.
The big stat there is 1 out of 16 stop spell resistance. Just 1.
Yep.
That's how you beat him. You save some stop spells for Sharlock. You see him in Sharlock, you stop spell him, and you just run until you hit the mercy roll.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is the 3 runs, and then the 4th one, you're automatically out.
Yeah, we are 1 death away from hitting 130 combined. Actually, no, we are past 130 because jkoper actually has 32 deaths now. So yeah, we are in excess of 130 deaths. The carnage is real here tonight, folks.
You see NESCard go to the drop cave, take 2 steps to the left, and immediately resume his count. He'll be taking that winding path around, and we'll see if we get the harp on that location. Meanwhile, Vennicus still struggling to get around in the overworld. He'll make progress. He'll find the spot. He'll get a grind, but just keeps getting sent home repeatedly. He's just having a rough time tonight.
Very much so indeed. You know, that's the nature of these standard flags, unfortunately. Sometimes you get dealt a bad hand like this, and that's going to be the 40th death on Vennicus right there as the Star Wyvern sends him home. It has just not been his night. Meanwhile, we've got level 14 closing in both for jkoper and Bob as jkoper runs into a droll. 5625 is what we need to get to level 14, and NESCard's the only one who's at level 14 up to this point. I mean, this has been a crazy, crazy match so far, and I'm telling you, When any of these runners see the dot done, they're going to immediately dot forfeit, and I won't blame them at the very least. The way this seed's been tonight, I think they want to just put this to bed.
I agree with Beta in chat. Those red dragons are easy pickings. You find a zone with them, you sit there, you just grind them. At this point, heal more breaks the seed. Once you get heal more, things can't kill you anymore. And then you're going to be able to do all these things that runners are struggling at. Okay, NESCard's count has resumed. Let's see if he can find it.
Well, they found it all right. Oh, he runs away from that accident on 46 agility. Yeah, that's been another problem here is the agility. You know, we finally got a nice boost on level 14 at 57 agility. It is the fairy flute. Oh my goodness, the harp is engraved.
And I'll give NESCard full credit. He didn't even, the first try search on that entire thing, right on top of it, 100% nailed it down. And now it's a race to the grave.
Oh, that is just so unlucky. That is so unlucky. That it was Bob that made that dive and got to the fourth chest, but not the fifth, right?
That is correct.
Oh, that is so unlucky. And that could give jkoper, you know, the opportunity to maybe sneak in the back door, because you got to believe that Bob might take a risk and just avoid the grave altogether. That could be a break for jkoper.
Well, it's going to push the seed even further, because that count is first of all, hold on. Let's wait for it. Vennicus is engraved. He's got one step to go, and he's getting this armor.
Can he get there is the big question. Yes.
Yeah, we got it. Vennicus now has armor at the 127 point in the seed. And we'll see if he can start making some progress. We'll see if he can get all the way down here on the first try and get his heart before NESCard.
I mean, that would be huge. I mean, again, the problem is we have no healing spells, and there's a lot of things that could shut down our exploration here. It's just been an absolute brutal go for all of our runners here. But yeah, if Vennicus gets lucky here and he makes the dive and gets through all 5 chests, he's going to have a massive advantage potentially, depending on how long it takes NESCard to get back to this grave here. But I'll tell you what, NESCard, he knows the answer already. He's hightailing it to the grave right now.
Bob has found the search location, and he's close. It's about 6 steps south and 1 step west of where he's at right now. We'll see if he continues his grid search.
And yep, NESCardinality is right there. He's booking into deep grave. Demon Knight down for Bob, putting him at 5,012,613 points away from level 14. Meanwhile, NESCard is 490 points away from level 15, minus the Star Wyvern, so that's 385 points now. And that's a problem. That's another major problem for Vennicus. Look at the experience difference. It's about 3,500 points there, Scarlet.
Yeah, Ness has been able to gain experience on the overworld, and he's been able to get it at a pretty decent clip since he found the armor. Bob has made a rectangle grid search, and the harp is somewhere in the middle of this rectangle. He's going to get to it eventually.
Oh, yes, unless, of course, he gets stopped by an enemy.
I think it's one to the right of where he's at right now. Yeah, so he's going to go up here and then turn back down, and then he's going to find it.
Yeah, he'll find it as long as he doesn't get stopped.
That is true. There's a lesson to you, friends. When you start grid searching, make your commitment. You go after it. You search 25 tiles, you don't find it, you know it's there, you've counted right, you know it's going to be there, you keep searching.
Yeah, definitely, indeed. And I'll tell you what.
And now he's rewarded with his flute.
Yep. We haven't seen any golems yet. Uh-oh. We got an axe knight on Vennicus' side.
Yeah, not a single golem, the whole seed.
No. Maybe we'll see one in Sharlock's spike tile. You just never know. Vennicus does get to sleep off. We got the Magic Wyvern. He's going to go for the kill here. All right. Star Wyvern down for NESCard. He's only 31 points away. This Star Wyvern will be enough for NESCardinality to get level 15, and we'll see what it ends up giving him for the level. Down it goes. And here comes level 15. Do we finally get any healing spells, or was I right about level 16 the whole time? 3, 4, 9, 3. Oh! Quad spell level level 16. I called the shot way back when. Let's go.
Oh my gosh, that's just so terrible.
Oh, the seed from hell. Who rolled this seed? Who rolled this?
As always, the seed is rolled by the bot created by Brian Williams 42, who's in chat tonight. Hope you're doing well, Brian.
Well, congratulations, Brian Williams. You rolled an absolute winner for the chat and commentators booth. The whole peanut gallery is suffering tonight. These four runners going through the gauntlet. Smashy. Truly, this was the greatest seed.
And we have a heart, and we have a harp in grade 5 for NESCardinality, which gives him everything he needs. He'll be heading to try to find the staff cave, which is in the back of Garenham, and then to the drop, which is west of the mountain cave.
And I'll tell you what,
screens from start.
That was a heck of a dive there for Vennicus. He did get the whole thing cleared on the first try. And yep, NESCardinality also getting the silver harp as well. So yeah, Vennicus finding the right things. But yeah, that experience difference is going to really set him behind the 8 ball.
Noticed on Bob's screen that the search location is just on the other side of Swamp Cave. Just because I noticed it and I want everybody to know. It's just kind of sitting there in the southwestern part of the map. Be interested to see if anybody gets the princess and then tries to go searching through that way.
Like I said, I know if I was playing, I'd be getting the princess, but we'll see if jkoper or Vennicus does. Yeah, both Bob and NESCardinality did a really excellent job counting those difficult coordinates in two different completely ways. You saw that Bob did the rectangle strategy, which even though it took a little bit of extra time, was eventually able to get that fairy flute. And NESCardinality, again, who's been in this circuit a long time, has been counting coordinates since probably before I was born. That's kind of an inside joke because I'm actually slightly older than this game. Not by much, but there you go.
The question is, even though those counts were amazing, were they faster? If you were to beeline to Swamp and kill the Arbor Knight and get the princess and then get down there, would you have gotten to it quicker? I don't know if we'll know.
Well, we'll never know. If it was me, I'd never be able to count it. So if it was me, yes. If it was me against like a typical counter, probably not.
I mean, I think I'm decent at this game, but I'm immediately getting the princess once I see those numbers and I see this map. That's just a long count.
Speaking of princess, jkoper is now in Swamp Cave. But he's not going after the princess. He's going to try to get to the south side. Meanwhile, NESCard back to Garenham, who is going to get the staff of rain here from the trading cave and will then book his way to the jerk cave to get his rainbow drop, which will gain him access to Sharlock, but he needs to get to level 16 first before he can make his first attempt.
Now that we're getting to that point, obviously we need to get to 16 because the amount of heal mores we have right now is 0 because we don't know the spell yet. But
yep,
we are sitting at 130 HP, 100 MP, which is 12 heal mores, and 129 attack power. With doubles, this is close. But remember, we only have 61 agility. So Sharlock is not going to be free.
Not by any stretch of the imagination. And a reminder, we have red dragons that have both more. I don't think we've seen werewolves. We've not seen golems. I don't think we've seen wizards. They could have some nasty things.
Yep. Red dragons are free, actually. You just gotta land the stop spell.
Well, I mean, I understand they're free, but we only have so many resources. We only have 100 MP. That's only 12 heal mores with 4 to spare. I mean, that's sketchy to begin with anyway. These runners are gonna not want to waste their resources if they can possibly help it. And we have armor knights too. I mean, trying to run away from them, you got about a 2% chance. I know it's a little higher than that, but golly, doesn't it seem like a 2% chance?
It certainly does sometimes. The interesting part here is NESCard is fighting this Armored Knight to grind.
Yeah.
And he gets it, and he's killed 1. And he's going to have to use herbs to heal and then get back out. He's going to get like maybe 3 Armored Knights in this cycle before he runs out of resources. If this seed hasn't been enough, grinding to 16 in and of itself is just going to take a ton more time.
Oh, definitely, indeed. I mean, this has been brutal. I mean, the fact that we had no healing spells whatsoever. But I called this like way back on level 10 or something. We were not going to get heal and heal more until level 16 and hurt more. I promise, I swear on the Bible, folks, that I did not have a spoiler log coming into this seed. I don't even know if spoiler logs exist for this game. Do we have spoiler logs in this game?
I'm sure there's a way to access them. I choose to not know about them because I run the game. That way I can't cheat.
There you go. Because I know we do with Zelda Randomizer. We've got spoiler logs in that game. In the co-op tournament we do. Okay. Anyways, NESCardinality sees a AK-47. Gonna go ahead, chop it down. Doesn't look like they have anything. It's just attacks. So now he is about 800 points away from level 16, and he'll heal up at Garanham and get some herbs in the process. Bob seeing Cole here in the swamp. Can he get there? He does indeed.
All right, this is pretty big for Bob. Because I believe now with the knowledge of Cole and the sword, he's in a spot where all he has to do is find the harp and he's good to go. But of course, the harp is in Deep Grave, which he must now know.
Yeah, he must now know that because, again, remember, he got the fairy flute already from the coordinates. So he now must know in his head he's got to go back to Grave. He's in a good spot, though, nonetheless, because jkoper still lagging behind in resources. I mean, his inventory looks decent enough as it is, but he's got a long ways to go himself.
NESCard finds a red dragon in the overworld, and hopefully he just stays right here and looks for more red dragons in the overworld. Nope, he's moving back on. I think he may be going to get the drop right now, which is smart because he's very close to 16 and knows when he hits 16, he's probably ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, back-to-back dodges here from this Demon Knight. Back-to-back-to-back dodges from this Demon Knight. Holy Toledo, you don't see that very often. Back-to-back-to-back dodges. I mean, I know Demon Knights are extremely dodgy, but that's about a 1 in 60 some oddball chance.
There was one glorious time, LOZ, when I was playing a Winter League seed where the dodge rate was still the same, where I had 8 consecutive Demon Knight dodges, and it came out to be something in like 1 in 10,000. I clipped it so that nobody could claim it wasn't true. It was amazing. Yep,
that's good that you clipped it, because, you know, we have the old saying here, vids or no dids, or no vids, no dids. Oh, gets the stop spell to connect, does NESCardinality. This red dragon would give NESCardinality the level if he's successful there.
Bob jumps into Grave, starts going towards chest number 4, realizes, oh crap, I've already gotten chest number 4, jumps right back out, and starts moving down towards his harp.
And there's level 16. Let's see what the stats are. It's 2 power, 11 agility. That's huge. 12 HP, 1 MP, and there is the whole quartet of spells to complete the spell book. We are in go mode.
Yeah, that's going to be enough, I think, at this point.
I'll tell you what, you know, if the Death Necklace is in Charlock, you know, that would make the fight easier, because then you'd be doing 10 to 20, because as it stands right now, it is 7 to 15, I believe.
At 131, yes, I believe that's correct.
So he'd be averaging 11, and he has 12 heal mores. I mean, you're going to have chances with doubles on where he has, so you don't necessarily need the Death Necklace, but I think it would help. For those who don't know, the Death Necklace will give you 10 additional attack power points, but at the cost of 25% of your maximum HP. So we know that the Death Necklace is in Charlock, and if they do go for the Death Necklace, we could play the Pyramid game at that point, but it'd be pretty darn impromptu, to say the least, because we don't know if NESCardinality is going to go after this Death Necklace or not. Knowing him, I'm guessing he's not.
I mean, you're going to have a lot of doubles chances at 142 HP, and with 131 AP, you have enough that you're probably going to be able to get it on double slow. It would be interesting to see if he ends up losing a heal more or two on the dive, if he ends up going to the treasury to grab the death necklace, because the death necklace will make the fight faster, and it will make it so you need less heal mores. But also, we don't have great defense either, so it does put you susceptible to a pretty decent physical hit.
Very true, because at 76 defense, we can get popped for up to 51, because the rule of thumb is 86 is what you need to have the same maximum punch as a maximum DL2 Breath of 48. And who knows what kind of enemies are going to be here in Charlock. And we got blues. So right now, NESCardinality in a great position to take the win and eliminate Vennicus from the brackets. Meanwhile, Bob is going to go get his Staff of Rain here in Garenham before he makes his way into the Jerk Cave and grinds his way towards level 16.
Yep, and Bob is essentially going to be in grind and go mode here. As he gets the staff, he'll have just a drop to get, and then he's got about 3,200 experience to gain before he's going to be ready. Where jkoper is lagging behind and really, really, really needs to find the grave.
Yeah, people are still making their guesses about where the death necklace is. Somebody saying judge's table. Possibility, of course, but no guarantee. We're playing the pyramid game, but if he does make his way towards the treasure, you're only going to have a few seconds to guess which chest has the death necklace. We call it the pyramid game because if you've ever watched a classic $25,000 or $100,000 pyramid game show, the winner circle bonus round, the bottom row is 50, 100, 150. The middle row is 200, 250, and the top of the pyramid, 300.
All right, NESCard is making his way around, and he'll be now 1 or 2 fights away from the third zone in Charlock. Gets past that Armored Knight.
And NESCardinality is so far, well, I was gonna say well, he does get away from the AK-47 in the U room here as he now makes it to the corridor room before he's in the bottom of Charlock, and he's made it without an encounter. So here he is now in the bottom of Charlock, and there's wizards, and he is, they have hurt. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, they're not dangerous at all. Armored Knights down here, Stone Men down here as well. That's 3 of our 5 enemies. It's slightly dangerous, but some of the nice parts about having a high HP steed is you have a little bit of HP to lose here.
Triple run block by a Stone Man on 72 agility. There's the Rye Guy special right there, folks.
NESCard uses his extra heal, takes a step up. We'll see if he swings left.
Triple run failed from a Stone Man. Finally gets away from it naturally like that. That is unbelievable. Okay. No, and he runs right into the AK.
Get your guesses in now, though. He's searching for the death necklace.
Yes, he is.
He's on his way to the treasury.
The problem is he is getting run blocked by everything here, and it's a triple run fail from the AK-47, so he's guaranteed an escape, but he is going to have to use his herbs. But yeah, he is going for the treasury, so having said that, $50 box.
300 for me.
All right, get your guesses quick. Behind the $150 chest, there's a key, $100 chest is the death necklace. So if you said the $100 chest, you are a winner. But NESCardinality, I think he's looking for herbs here.
Yeah, you keep searching here. You grab whatever herbs you can find. There's none.
Oh, no herbs. So the adversary who gets the $100 chest gets the 25,000 gold. Thanks for playing.
We've already found our 4 herbs in chests this seed.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
All right, meanwhile, Bob has moved on to the Green Dragon in Hawksness, which I believe is a very, very good choice for his grind.
Absolutely, because, they're not very threatening at all, and, it's 135 points, not too shabby. If we had the Hurtmore spell, they'd go down much quicker, but, you can get 2 shots. Well, if you get a cut and a miss, that doesn't help either, as now NESCardinality making his way to the spike tile. So what do you think is going to be on the spike tile? I think we're going to see a duplicate here. I think it's going to be, I'm going to go for AK-47.
I miss my friend the Golem, LZ. I want to see a Golem.
Golem could happen, and you know, having that fairy flute, that's going to come in handy. I see Stoneman as a guess. Could be Star Wyvern, who knows? We're about to find out very shortly on NESCard's side. On the spike tile, we've got a Green Dragon. Well, I was right about the duplicate. I picked the wrong duplicate.
It's okay, I'll forgive you.
All right, well, in any event, down goes the Green Dragon easily, and it's smooth sailing for NESCardinality. Here we go.
All right, Card, are you counting or me?
I will do the counting.
Sounds good.
We need 150 to 165 points of damage. Not a good start, though, as it's going to be a hurt more, and going to put on the Death Necklace right away, and NESCard only has 2 more herbs to give. So the Death Necklace goes on. Stop spell hype for him. It's 10 to 20 damage on the Dragon Lord, as that's a hurt more, as going to use one of his 2 herbs. Another stop spell for NESCard. Looking for a good high roll here. That's not going to be enough. He's going to have to use his final. Nope, that's enough for the 101. He'll just finish it off right there. And he would love to get the first strike to really give himself a great advantage here. And does get the first strike. Starting things off, oh, min roll 10. That's ominous. But he does get the double. Much better roll with the 19. He's up to 29. So he's in great shape here. $42. So he's rolling a little bit below average right now. Again, that shouldn't matter in his current state. Obviously, he'd like to expedite the fight anyways. That's 55. All right, good roll of 18 puts him at 73. Another good roll puts him at 90. Yep, at this point, he's guaranteed the win here unless he makes a menuing mistake here. So even if he goes min roll the rest of the way, he's got this fight well in hand here. There's 107. Yep, no need to risk it here. Use the heal more. You know, he could have swung there, but he's guaranteed. There's no way you're going to chance it. 126. And 15 gives him 141. Has a shot at doing it potentially on the next attack, but if not, the next one after that should do it for him. He's at 141 right now. He's now at 154. Almost guaranteed. He could roll a 10 and have it not be enough. So you're going to heal more, of course. You need 11 or better to cover the entire spread. Boom, there it is. Get your GGs out for NESCardinality. It was definitely a battle of attrition, but he perseveres and is going to beat this seed in under $150. And that will unfortunately eliminate Vennicus from bracket contention. GGs to NESCardinality.
That was a very well-run race. Good grinding, good exploration. A terrible seed, and Ness went about it a pretty decent way. Got himself his experience all the way through and kept pushing through.
Yep, there's the official time. 1 hour, 49 minutes, and 12 seconds, which, all things considered, that's a pretty good time for how difficult this seed was. I mean, NESCardinality played it very, very well. I mean, only one to be sub 30 deaths. Just absolute brutal seed. And Vennicus waving the white flag. I certainly can't blame him at this point. A valiant effort. Just nothing rolled his way tonight. Brutal, brutal seed. You know, we say how brutal this seed is. You look at these forerunners. We've got 34 deaths now on Bob's side. We're at 144 deaths. That's gross. I mean, I'm not kidding. That's gross. It's a gross number of deaths because it's a dozen. It's gross.
You're very funny, sir. I enjoyed that.
I tried to do my best. But in any event, NESCardinality goes to 2-1 and keeps his hopes of getting a high seed into the bracket stage very much alive and well.
All right, both runners have been offered a chance to join us in the booth. Vennicus is going to turn us down for this one. NESCard might be long in a minute. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes a few minutes to take a break after that one.
I don't blame
I
him.
might need like a sweat towel or something if I was running it.
Absolutely. I mean, this seed was absolutely brutal here. You know, right now, Bob in a very good position to keep his bracket hopes alive here and potentially eliminate jkoper in the process. I mean, 3-2, you're in that borderline situation. It may be good enough to make the brackets, or you may have to play in that play-in race and fight for your lives to make those final spots into the bracket stages.
Very true. It's going to make things very interesting in this group here in the next week.
Most certainly is indeed. But again, these runners had to earn it tonight. Just absolutely brutal. No healing spells until level 16. Herbs very hard to come by early on. A lot of enemies that had either hurt more and things like that. It was just a very nasty seed. We had a couple of early game enemies have DL2 breath. I mean, just very hard seed overall. And we do have NESCardinality here in the commentators booth with us. Congratulations, you persevered through the seed, and the way this is going, you're going to be the only one to sub to this one, because this was absolutely brutal. No healing spells until level 16. Go over your thoughts about the seed with us, NESCard.
We may be having a few Discord issues. Give us a minute. I'm sure we will get this sorted out.
Wait, Discord issues happening while I'm doing commentary? Never. Come on, that never happens. It always happens.
Okay, that was really funny. First I forgot about push to talk, and then when I pressed my push to talk button, it minimized Discord instead. That was very strange. Sorry about that, everyone.
That's all right, NESCard. Congratulations on your victory. As I was mentioning, it looks like you're going to be the only runner to sub to this brutal seed. No healing spells until level 16. Why don't you go over this seed with us?
Yeah, no hurt more either. So I was getting... I talked with my chat before we started, and I said I'm up for a challenge tonight. We certainly got that. Yeah, I was getting blocked a lot by things, but I felt really good about what I was doing. The wolf grind in the beginning seemed to be the right thing because I couldn't get anywhere. I got scared when I found the armor because that was not very far from home, but as things went on, I realized that it didn't help that much, and I should stop being worried. The only other thing I was worried about was, of course, the fact I counted all the way to the faraway coordinates before getting the silver harp, which was in grave, and I tried to dive grave at one point and got stopped, so I just went and did the coordinates instead and then came back later. But yeah, it all worked out in the end. I was happy with my end game play, you know, going into the swamp cave before getting the rainbow drop and then getting the last level on the way. That all worked perfectly.
Definitely indeed. So the big question is, what influenced your decision going after the death necklace? You know, we were speculating whether or not you were going to go for it at that point. You know, you had good chances of getting doubles and whatnot, but I know you're a very good player, NESCard, but I personally thought you were going to skip the death necklace. What were your thoughts on that?
I don't blame anyone for expecting me to skip. You should know that as I was entering the final zone and descending Sharlock, I told myself, I'm going to skip the death necklace. We have all these resources, and I haven't lost anything yet. And then I got to the bottom floor, I got to the intersection, and I started losing herbs and getting attacked by armored knights, and I said, I think I gotta do it. Now, when I made the decision, I forgot I actually had the fighter's ring. That was a big swaying factor. If the fighter's ring were still there, it was a no-brainer to go for it. But I still felt good about the decision in the end, because the while we were absolutely a favorite to win, the death necklace just eliminates all the high variance that comes with low attack power. So I got there with all my heal mores. Anything could have happened without the death necklace, although again, we would have been a big favorite, but with the death necklace, we were just 99% to win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, other than that intersection where you just got hit by everything but the kitchen sink there. You had an incredible Charlock dive, and you had some very, very good rolls. You played a really, really good endgame, as you mentioned. Absolutely right. I mean, your closing speed on this one, absolutely phenomenal. Again, this was not an easy seed at all. Again, herbs, hard to come by, no healing spells until 16, no hurt mores, and just absolutely tremendous job. So congratulations on your victory tonight. You go to 2-1 in your group. So how are you feeling about that?
Thank you so much. It was pretty funny icing on the cake that herbs were kind of difficult to come across as well. I think there was one in the Stones Cave in the Tantagel basement. I certainly wasn't going to grind them that way. But yeah. As I say, I feel great about my play. I do appreciate, I don't know everything, so if you think it was weird for me to go to the Death Necklace, I always appreciate people asking those questions.
Absolutely.
I feel great about winning such a challenge seed tonight. It's a big relief. And I'm in the process of discovering, Zarnak says he wants to move his matchup a week, so if we can, we'll race on Saturday. I just need to hear back from him. If not, my next race will be on Sunday, just so everybody knows. But yeah, very much looking forward to it, and I want to thank all of you for all the work you did tonight. I'm glad it worked out in terms of a quad. I always will say yes to doing a quad. It's a great idea for everyone.
Definitely indeed. Now, the other thing you were mentioning is your worry about the armor. Well, everyone was struggling to find the armor. Bob ended up being the first one to find the armor well before anyone else, but unfortunately, he died after getting the 4th chest, couldn't get that 5th chest. Now, luckily for him, jkoper has just not been able to find the things he's needed to find to get back into this race, and he's now following 2,500 experience points. So, barring something crazy, it does look like Bob is going to scave elimination tonight. But in your case, NESCard, I mean, brutal seed. I think you played it about as well as you could have under the circumstances. Again, only player to be under 30 deaths. I mean, you look at the totals right now, we're at 146 deaths. I don't recall ever seeing a 4-way seed with this many deaths.
That's remarkable. I just opened DW Randomizer. I didn't have push to talk again. That is remarkable. I just opened DWR, and wow, the death counters are just, I mean, it's not surprising, of course, but I was definitely worried early on that I might be, you never know when you're going to have more deaths than someone else. It was just a relief to get through. But yeah, best of luck to jkoper and Bob Pineapple. It does look like, if Bob has everything, it looks like Bob is going to be all set. We'll see what happens in Charlock.
Yeah, he just needs a couple more kills on these green dragons. He'll be at level 16. He'll be in go mode, and he'll be in great shape to take this race, stay alive in bracket contention. But NESCard, GG's to you tonight. A great, impressive performance. Thank you very much for your time, and we wish you the best of luck in your upcoming race on Saturday.
Thanks so much again, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the quad.
All right, please make sure you give all of our runners today here, Vennicus, NESCardinality, jkoper, and Bob Pineapple a follow. They really went through the gauntlet tonight, as Bob just got the boon in level 16, and I would imagine, yep, he's going to take the intentional here, get sent back home, fill up on his resources, and he's going to be on his way to Charlock and pick up this win here.
All right, as Bob continues through, it looks like we have jkoper still sitting at level 14, still missing out on the grave. He has finally found coal, so he's going to get his sword. And looks like go for an herb refill in the lovely faraway shop, blocked by an NPC, of course, in coal, because this seed would not have it any other way.
Absolutely not. Yeah, and Bob taking that intentional death, that puts him at that puts us at now 147 deaths on the counter here. So again, just an absolute staggering amount of deaths we've seen here. I mean, we're getting to the end game here, so probably not going to see too much more carnage unless Bob, of course, has some problems in Charlock. Hopefully, for his sake, that doesn't end up being the case. But we call it Charluck for a reason there, Scarlet.
Speaking of carnage, take a look over on jkoper's screen. This NPC elf friend has blocked his way for the past 45 seconds.
Ah, that is brutal. Absolutely.
I don't know if I could hold myself back from I would say he would. I would say I would walk up and cast Hurt More on him, but we don't have Hurt More.
Well, you know, there's another flag setting that I was just made aware of recently. I think it was called the guillotine setting, where if you talk to an NPC, they just disappear.
That one I would not be upset if it got turned on, for sure.
Yeah, for tournament play, I mean, yeah, why not? It's like, get out of my way, be gone.
Bob getting blocked as well on the way to into Garenham. All right, Bob should be entering Sharlock very shortly.
Yeah, definitely indeed here. So, you know, and Bob, he's gonna go through this Sharlock. I mean, hopefully he doesn't have too many problems here. And I got a feeling that once we see Bob hit the dot done, jkoper's just gonna wave the white flag here, considering that we're now past the 2-hour mark in this seed.
Yeah, I don't know if Bob has cast a healing spell yet. I don't think he has, so that means he played 2 hours of DWR without casting a healing spell.
That's got to be some kind of record. Mm-hmm.
But apparently casting a healing spell makes you completely invisible to enemies, as Bob walks the entire first floor without an encounter.
That's absolutely incredible and very unusual to do that. Now, people are mentioning that the guillotine option originated from the Final Fantasy randomizer. So, yeah, that makes sense too. That's another game where you can get NPC blocked rather easily. And you know, I've seen enough Final Fantasy gameplay to know that that's a fact. So, yeah, only one encounter for the first 2 floors for Bob. So he's hoping that it can stay that way. But you know, we haven't run into the armor knights yet, which could definitely wreak some havoc. He's run into just a few blue dragons up to this point, so he hasn't been threatened too terribly up to this point, but he finally gets his first run fail there.
Nothing but blues so far, for sure.
And took a couple of run fails.
Rounded the diamond floor. He has 2 more floors here in zone 2. And then zone 3 we saw was one that gave NESCAR a little bit of trouble. But no resources expended for Bob so far, so he's in good shape.
He's had a nice good hero walk to get the HP he lost to that blue dragon in the 3rd floor earlier. There's a golem. He doesn't run away from it, and now he's made it to the U, and this is where we're going to see those armored knights and wizards. Again, they have hurt, so that's nothing threatening. He's made it to the hallway. Encounter free. Now let's see if he goes for the death necklace or if he's going to chance it. Well, now he's in the same conundrum. Well, he was in the same conundrum, but he does get back attacked by this axe knight, so that's going to be annoying. And he's not going to go for the pyramid, so he's not going to go for the death necklace. So he's going to take a shot here. He may be figuring he's trailing at this point. We know he's got a commanding lead at this juncture. Meanwhile, jkoper's got a red dragon. This will get him to level 15 if he's successful. AK-47, this could be a problem here. Could burn through 100 HP potentially here. Unfortunately, he gets the maximum, so that's gonna guarantee him an escape, but it is gonna cost him an herb or 2 or more.
He's still in pretty good shape.
Green dragon. Yeah,
we know we have the green here.
Yeah, he'll be in great shape.
With the high amount of HP, you're never guaranteed doubles, but you have a pretty good chance of a double, probably every 3 or 4 swings.
Uh-oh.
He has 12 heal mores.
Oh, he got away that time. Good for him. And he's made it to the fight. He'll use an herb, top off his resources, and it's now his turn to go after the Dragon Lord. So at the 2:04:30 mark, he says no, and we're off to the races. Good start with the stop spell. Goes for the attack, which is better. And yeah, so good kill there for Bob. And he would like to get the first strike here. Does he get the first strike? He does get the first strike. That's a guaranteed opening double, starting things off with a 10. And now he's got 19. And that is an opening triple. He'll take that. 31. He'll need a good heal more, though, or he may have to double heal more. That's good enough. 39. Now remember, he only rolls for 7 to 15, so he's averaging 11. He's at 39 right now. There's 47, so some low rolls here. So kind of concerning at the moment for Bob. He needs to roll better than that. 47 is where he's at right now. Another 8 puts him at 55. I mean, he's due for a double soon. There's 66. There's the reminder that he can get punched for 50. Nice low roll there. Could get a double. 80.
Yep, I'll get his double here.
Yep. 90. And he'll be in the safe zone, even with a bad heal more. It was a good one. So he's at 90. 101. There's 112. Should get another double soon. $124. Not on this though. Won't get a double here. $133. $148 gets the max roll there, and that's a double. $159. He can swing if he's been counting, but of course he's going to play it safe. This attack will do it for him, guaranteed. And $169, that is a wrap. Get your GGs out for BobPineappleMD. 162 is your magic number tonight. Survives and stays alive in his quest to make the brackets. A very big win tonight here for Bob there, Scarlett.
I agree. He played this very, very well. I mean, it was tough. It was strenuous, but he took to a long grind, even when he didn't find stuff in the beginning, and the grind ended up paying off. Got enough HP to survive, got out of the map, found the things he needed, and that just ended up being it. And an
2 hours, 7 minutes, 38 seconds. Yeah, as you were about to say there, Scarlett. Yep, an immediate forfeit there from jkoper. So your final count for tonight, 147 deaths.
That's a lot.
My goodness gracious. We'll see if we get any of these runners here for an interview, but man, just an absolute brutal seed for all of our runners tonight. Again, NESCard, the only one to crack the sub 2 hour barrier in, and you're just going to see these counts here, and they're just going to be absolutely brutal. I mean, you already see the counts on the bottom right there for NESCardinality. I mean, 333 attacks, 10 crits, 44 run blocks, 16 dodges, 51 back attacks. That's just a lot of stats here in a seed like this. Just absolutely brutal. No use of the hurt more on NESCard side. Obviously no need when you get hurt more at level 16. Likewise, 415 attacks. Yeah, you look at that grinding. 18 crits, the same number of dodges, 54 run blocks, 53 ambushes. Man, lots and lots of stats here tonight, Scarlett.
88 sleeps. That's the one that makes me giggle. 88 sleep spells. That's just insane. I don't think we had a single hurt more casts for the entire 2 hours.
Nope, that could be a record here. You know, I think the only heal mores that we saw happen during the Dragon Lord fight, because both the runners, you know, Bob and NESCard, got there with all their resources intact. So yeah, these runners were in really, really good shape from the start. Just absolutely brutal seed, but congratulations to the runners, our winners, who were able to endure a painful seed like the one we had there tonight. Again, we'll see if we can get an interview. I wouldn't blame them if they passed. I mean, it's they probably want to just call it a night and, just forget the whole seed ever happened. But again, a big, important win for Bob because it puts him at 2-2, keeps his chances of making it to the bracket stages alive. jkoper denied the guaranteed of making it to the bracket stages, goes to 3-2. I mean, that's going to put RG 365 in a very favorable position because, he gets the win. He ends up winning his division. So we'll see if he can pull that off.
Yep, and RG makes a fun point that there were no Hurtmore's cast on the friendly side, but on the other side, there were plenty of Hurtmore's cast tonight.
Absolutely right. We saw more than our fair share of Hurtmore's cast by enemies tonight, and there was a lot of enemies that had it.
All right, Bob should be joining us here shortly, taking a much-needed restroom break and breather after that nonsense.
Oh,
and then
one bit.
Then after the interview, I think we'll end up wrapping it up here. It's been a fun night. I've enjoyed this seed. Super fun to watch. Probably incredibly painful to run. I'm kind of jealous a little bit because these are the kinds of seeds that I super enjoy, but definitely interesting. And there he is. Bob, GG, congratulations on the win. How you feeling?
I could sleep for a week.
I'll bet you could. jkoper also here in the commentators booth with us. Brutal seed tonight, as you can see by the death counter. We've been talking about this all night. Between the 4 runners tonight, even with the forfeits, 147 deaths between the 4 runners. It didn't help that no healing spells until level 16, and herbs were awfully hard to come by, and you had a lot of enemies. The blue dragons early on stopped you. The stone men early on stopped you. Agility wasn't coming. Even at the end game, there was, you could be punched for up to 51. I mean, this seed gave you no breaks whatsoever. And I mean, jkoper, unfortunately, you weren't able to find the grave, and the grave would have given you both the stones and Erdrick's armor, and that would have helped open the seed up for you. But a valiant effort tonight, brutal seed all the way around. We'll start with our champion here, Bob. Why don't you go over this seed with us?
So early on, when I saw the opening stats and I had that opening torch, and the very first play I think you probably saw me make was the reset about 5 minutes in to try and find a better enemy to throw that torch at. And then, only then, did the easier enemies show up for me. So I was kicking myself a little bit on that. But as we progressed in the early levels, and I realized that we were going to be bottled in for a little while, I kept hoping against hope that some form of healing spell was coming, and it just wasn't happening. And so that, combined with the fact that the map was so odd and big and windy and things were far flung and they were completely out of the way, I just knew that it felt like to me this was going to come down to who could actually get to things in a reasonable amount of time.
Well, Bob, you were the first of the 4 runners to find Erdrick's armor, but on your way trying to complete the grave, unfortunately, you couldn't get to that 5th chest, and the odds were against it, but it actually happened. The Silver Harp ended up being there, and it was not behind the coordinates like a lot of people thought it was going to be. We ended up getting the Fairy Flute instead. But, you did manage to get back, get it back on the second dive there, and you were able to win the seed, relatively comfortably. And again, very important win for you, Bob, because it keeps you in the running to make the bracket stages here. You need another win to put yourself in position to potentially get there. So GG's to you on your victory tonight. jkoper, well, let's go to you. Why don't you go over the seed with us?
So where was the grave exactly? I'm guessing it was not that far from start. Probably like a little west of start, maybe?
Northwest, wasn't it?
Southwest, jkoper. Yeah. Did you find Hawksness?
Yeah, of course.
If you went about 2.5 screens west and north slightly, that was grave.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's the entire difference in the race right there, because not having armor was obviously very, very painful, as you know and can imagine. I have no idea what level you were when you got the armor, but I mean, I'm still, level 15 now and no healing spells. So, yeah, just buying herbs over and over again, and trying to get to a town to buy herbs. Yeah, was a big problem.
Yeah, getting anywhere for the entire seed was a definitive struggle for all 4 runners here tonight. The 2 of you guys were pretty much in lockstep until level 9 or so. Sitting down, grinding, exploring, dying, again. And only after a little bit past that, maybe around like 800 to 1,000 experience, Bob started pushing out and just had a little bit more success and a little bit more success. And it just slowly cascaded from there.
Yeah, I mean, I made small errors, but as far as I'm concerned, nothing that impacted the race. So, that's just how it is. Anyway, GG Bob. I don't know what all the scenarios are, but hopefully we'll get to do a tiebreaker or something. I got a lot riding on the Darthling, so anyway, thanks for putting the restream on, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you very much, jkoper. And Bob, again, congratulations on having to put up with a very, very brutal seed. You come out with a very important victory here. Again, it keeps your chances of making the bracket stages alive and well. You need to get that 3rd win to perhaps make it outright, or at the very worst, get into a play-in race. I think we're going to see a lot of 3-win players here. The way this has been shaping up, I wouldn't be surprised if we had a super mega crazy play-in race to determine who nabs those final spots. I mean, we've had a lot of exciting races, you know, a lot of close races, you know, a lot of great groups here. And I mean, it's up for grabs. That's all I can say. It's up for grabs.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it does feel good to still be in contention. Of course, I had a race last night that ran about 2 hours, and this one's run slightly more than 2 hours, and both were pretty arduous and long. So it's good. I've had a little break here before my race against Darthling. Actually, I think we're racing the last possible day you can race. So edge of your seats here to see who's going to move on from the Poltergeist group.
Yeah, I can hardly wait to see how it's going to play out. But wish you the best of luck in your final race as you make your attempts to get to the bracket stages. Do you have any other questions, Scarlett, before we cut this?
No, Bob, get some rest, man. After this one, it might take you a few days. So good thing you got a nice little break there. GG, well played. Way to not give up. Way to keep pushing and fighting for experience. That you earned that win tonight.
Thanks very much, guys, and I will do just that.
All right, please make sure you give both of our runners, all 4 of our runners here, jkoper, Bob Pineapple, Vennicus, and NESCardinality a follow. Had to grit it out here, and congratulations to the survivors. A battle of attrition, a battle of perseverance. It was not easy, but a great effort from all 4 of our runners tonight. And with that, that's going to wrap up our coverage here tonight on DWR Randomizer. I want to thank everybody for being here, and I want to thank all of the people who made it possible. Our trackers, RG365 and SH Mike, our restreamer, Aaron to you too, and my commentator partner, Scarlet Shadow. A pleasure doing commentary with you tonight. It was a lot of fun.
Same LZ, and it looks like we are rating over to Hoodie 2 shows for the F. Coughlin Ziggy7Z race that is currently in progress. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
And on behalf of everybody on DWR Randomizer, I'm LZ Cards Fan 23. Good night, everyone.